It's Championship Wednesday in California as we welcome you to Carlsbad and the North Course at Omni La Costa Resort and Spa for the final day of the Division I Men's National Championships. Two teams remain on this final day of the college golf season. Only one will leave as a national champion. Oklahoma State, Virginia, the headliner match today. Preston Stout against Ben James. This is Stout, the sophomore for the Cowboys. A birdie look on the first. He's 20th in the world amateur golf ranking. Ben James is ranked third. Two heavyweights in match number 3. They're off and running. Looking forward to a good one as our final day coverage from California is coming your way next. For the last 2 weeks, the best collegiate golfers from around the country have made the trip to California. Week 1 saw the women showcase their talents. Maria Jose Marin of Arkansas winning the individual title, then Northwestern capturing the team championship as the Wildcats won the national title for the very first time. Week 2 would see the men's competition get underway. Ole Miss would crown their second individual champion as Michael Lasasso was triumphant against a stacked field en route to a 2-stroke victory. Match play is now on full display as the top 8 schools have been dwindled down to just 2. Oklahoma State got by their in-state rivals by taking down Oklahoma, then needing extra holes in a couple of matches to outlast Ole Miss as they eye their 12th national championship. Virginia, they have been close in recent years, still in search of their first national title. This year, they have taken out the last 2 national champs in Auburn and Florida. The stage is now set. Oklahoma State and Virginia, a national title is on the line today. NBC Sports and the NCAA proudly present the 2025 Division I Men's NCAA Championship match, and it is presented to you by Stiefel and AT&T as we're coming to you from the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa in Carlsbad, California. And the California coast, it has been front and center in the world of college golf as the North Course is wrapping up year number 2 playing host to this prestigious championship in an event which dates all the way back to 1897, and it has seen its share of memorable moments with the hopes another might happen today. That trophy, that's on the line. 2 teams vying for it. Oklahoma State and Virginia, the Cowboys in search of national title number 12. The Cavaliers looking for their very first in the history of the men's golf program. So glad you could join us on this final day of the college golf season. Steve Burkowski alongside John Cook, part of the 1979 National Championship team at Ohio State. Jim Gallagher Jr., an All-America selection during his days at Tennessee. Billy Ray Brown, Amelia Duran, both won national championships during their college days at Houston and Wake Forest. Brentley Romine going to join us, talk to some of the players and coaches, have some news and notes as well. It's all come down to this. Started late August, early September, now late May. Couple of teams remaining. Go to the action at 2. Eric Lee from Oklahoma State, Josh DeWomany from Virginia. They tied the first hole, so in the early going in match number 2, and Billy Ray Brown down there with a front row seat.
Thank you, Burko. I am so excited to crown a champion today. I love this college golf, and it's going to be a great match here. Now, Josh has got this birdie putt from the front of the green, drove it in trouble. His opponent, Eric Lee, has got her about 4 feet for birdie. Advantage Lee right now. This putt comes up and over a ridge.
Long distance here, Billy Ray, and that'll wander off to the right. There's a little bit of a slope right there, so early drama here for Josh.
Yeah, and he has not lost his turn here.
We go to the green at 1. Gavin Lane from Oklahoma State, the sophomore, going up against Paul Chang, the senior for the Virginia Cavaliers. This is match number 4. Lane, a sophomore from Argyle, Texas. Paul Chang from China, then to London, then to Charlottesville, Virginia. Lane now his 3rd just off the green.
Yeah, what a story here for Chang, but Gavin Lane That needs to go. There's a false front right there. Tricky little pitch shot, so a mistake on that second shot, not getting it on the proper level. He's struggling already.
What are some of the keys, John, as we've got one match remaining to tee off, to get settled in, the nerves, the moment, and that one-on-one battle? Yeah,
it's about staying in the present. You know, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you know, the coach's message to his guys is, you know, let's play with conviction, let's play with confidence, let's play with purpose.
We'll see if it comes down to the anchor match later today. Let's send it up to the first tee for the introduction.
This is the 3:05 tee time. From Oklahoma State University, please welcome Ethan Fang.
Ethan, the sophomore from Plano, Texas, spent his first year at Cal, has settled in nicely in Stillwater, and just named earlier today a first-team All-America selection.
Yeah, for good reason. Ethan's a really good player. He's in this anchor match for a reason.
Not Ethan.
For Coach Alan Bratton. Less than driver, just take it a little bit for position, stay short of that bunker. Good start.
From the University of Virginia, please welcome Brian Lee.
Brian, the junior from Fairfax, Virginia. His head coach, Bowen Sargent, said the nicest kid he has ever coached in his 21 years. Respectful, focus will be the key for him today.
Yeah, well, let's see if he can get a little mean streak in him in match play here. You don't want to be too nice, but yeah, good start there for Brian as well.
So all 5 matches on the golf course, the race to 3 officially, we can call it underway. We have seen some drama in the quarters and the semis on Tuesday, late into the evening, battling sunlight. If we can get some of that drama today, going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. This is Eric Lee at the second for birdie to win the hole.
His opponent made his par putt.
Well, that is an early indication. He's got a little bit of nerves going right there, hitting it that hard. Duangman, he got up and down at the first hole from over the green to tie that hole, and now Eric's got a little bit of work for his part to tie this hole, seemingly in control of this golf hole here, Billy Ray.
Man, he ran that by. This is one that's going to test his nerves early on here. It's
longer than what he had in his birdie putt.
Eric Lee, like Ethan Fang, a sophomore, also spending his first year at Cal, made the trip over to Stillwater, Oklahoma via that transfer portal. A little more stress than he needed.
Boy, I guess so.
All right, take a breath, exhale, walk to the tee at 3. Oklahoma State and Virginia. We're underway here at La Costa. First match at the 4th. Philip Falberg Johnson, freshman from Oklahoma State. Maxi Pureger, freshman from Virginia. They're getting ready to go, and Amelia Duran following this match.
Good afternoon, Burko. Falberg Johnson has hit the green about 30 feet.
Hit me a good one. Go for it, right? Yep, right at it.
133 yards for Pureger. Falberg Johnson got off to a quick start, hitting it to within a couple of inches on the first. Made a good par save to tie on the last. This is a birdie hole. 7 paces behind the flag to use as a little funnel.
Just under hole high. Not a great shot. Pretty safe.
We go to 1. This is Paul Chang. For par to win the hole, get an early 1-up lead in this one.
Pretty straight putt, knocks it right in the middle.
Virginia
1 up.
Heck of a journey for Paul Chang to this point. We will share that throughout the course of today. Time now to take a look at the tournament format presented by Titleist. Second year NCAA championship being held here at Omni La Costa. We started with 156 players, 54 holes of stroke play, then cut it down to the top 15 teams and 9 individuals on non-advancing teams. Monday, final day of stroke play. Michael Assasso crowned an individual champ. Then a full day of match play on Tuesday from 8 to 2. Oklahoma State and Virginia, the only 2 teams remaining on this final day of the college golf season. And what an end we are looking forward to here over the course of the next 3 or 4 hours. John, you know what a day like this is all about. Part of the 1979 national championship team at Ohio State. How would you describe the emotions, the nerves leading up to it in those early holes that we're watching right now?
Yeah, if I'm a coach in the locker room, I'm going to challenge my guys. I'm going to say, does anyone in here in this room believe that we're not capable of being here and shouldn't be here? No one's going to answer no. Everybody thinks that they should be here. Another question would be, we are a top 10 team in the country for a reason. This is what we've practiced for. This is what we've trained for. Let's enjoy this walk, and you might just get one of those little rings right there.
Set out to 3, Jim.
Thank you. We're raised with this group. DeWongman with out for birdie at the par 3.
Putting back up the slope.
Yeah, not too bad. That's a tough putt to read. There's a little bit of a fall off there. Just if you don't carry it up to almost 3 steps short of the hole, it's going to come back off the green. But Eric Lee should. Yeah, he's going to be next there, obviously.
Yeah, hit a wonderful tee shot here at the par 3. Just right of the hole.
Visualizing that. Match it up with the speed.
Jim, the players are going to have to make an adjustment today. The greens are as fast as they have been all week long. At what they would call them championship speed plus. They're running around 13 on the stem meter. So you have to be aware of your positioning on the green with your incoming shots.
Yeah, actually at 15 green, I was out with the crew, and it was at 14. So it's you're going to have to pay attention for sure.
It's a birdie and to win the hole and go 1 up.
Tell you what, this picks up speed when it gets by the hole right there. So that was really well judged.
It did. Yeah, the greens are nearly perfect, and you get them with the speed like this, boy, you get some nerves. Things could change quickly.
Let's go to the green at 4. Maxi Pewrager is going to have a birdie putt to win the hole and tie the match.
For the last 3 putts that Pewrager has had, they've either touched the hole or nearly touched the edge. Really good look from below the cup. This will break to the left.
Maxi's gotten out to some pretty hot starts in his matches here, Amelia. Finds himself 1 down and hits another edge.
He sure has, and has been showing a lot of emotion when he's nearly made the putts. Falberg Johnson has a testy 4-footer now, Burko.
Yeah, this is an intriguing opening match, John and Amelia. 2 freshmen, both from Europe, arguably both with the most match play experience of the starting 5. Amelia, you won a national title 2 years ago. How valuable is it to lean on some of those past matches, good or bad, in a moment like this?
It is so valuable. That's why they're out first. They have that experience. They're expected to get the point on the board.
So a much more comfortable start relative to the finish that Falberg Johnson had yesterday. He did get the point, but it came with a little drama. We're in the early goings here on this Championship Wednesday. We are back in California. Final day coverage of the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Golf Championships coming your way, presented by AT&T. We go to the green at 2. Oklahoma State's Preston Stout. Long one for his par.
Yeah, it goes up the hill, really slow putt. Just burns that edge, and Burko, we're going to talk a lot about it. Match play. Don't give away the par 3s. You can lose to a 2, maybe even a 3, but don't lose to a 4. And the par 5s do not make sixes on par fives.
That is what Stout did. Ben James, early one-up lead. We go to the first. Brian Lee making par to tie that one against Ethan Fang. It's been a couple of great weeks here in Carlsbad, Omni La Costa Resort and Spa, a lush Southern California escape where vibrant gardens, Palm Lime Pass, Spanish Mission style set the scene. You can savor fresh, locally inspired cuisine, have a cocktail at one of the many world-class restaurants inside. You want to have a little fun in the sun, you can lounge by one of the property's 8 sparkling pools. You can also unwind a little bit at the Serene Spa with waterfall showers, private pool, and a reflexology path. The Omni La Costa, timeless, modern, and made for total relaxation. Worth the trip, John. I know not too far from where you called home.
Yeah, I grew up about 100 miles north of here, but spent a lot of time down here, especially on this property. I know Billy Ray and Jimmy G. We played here on the Tournament Champions many times here at La Costa. Always a great place to be.
All right, let's head back to the second. Match number 4. Paul Chang from Virginia, the early one-up lead over Gavin Lane from Oklahoma State. Lane, the sophomore from Argyle, Texas. Real athletic kid. Alan Bratton, head coach, said he's a leader in the way of he hits the gym. You know, just uber fitness from sun up to sundown. You can be a leader in a different way, and sometimes it's, hey, let's get the job done off the course as well.
Take care of your business. That's exactly right. He looks like an athlete. Actually pressed the ball up here on this long par 5. Pretty narrow up there, so took a chance, pressed the ball up there, now pitching all the way up the green. That needs to slow down. Now, a little bit of a miscue right there for Gavin Lane.
And Billy Ray touched on it. These players are going to have to adjust. They've not seen greens this firm or this quick all week long.
100%. Billy Ray was right on the money. We were out there putting today. I know Jimmy was out there as well. These greens are really rolling nice. This pure distinction bent grass is absolutely perfect. David Smallwood and his crew have done a great job. Jeff Wilson, who is the superintendent here on the North Course, fantastic job of what they've done to get this golf course in shape. It's only a year old.
And it's great as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Oklahoma State and Virginia this week. The match play seeding after 72 holes of stroke play. The Cowboys were 4th, the Cavaliers 7th. But this is where the history gets a little bit different. Oklahoma State already 11 national titles. Virginia looking for their first. Oklahoma State got hot late in the fall. All throughout the spring, they won 6 times. And the Cavaliers, they won their first conference title this year, first time in the 72-year history of the program. Oklahoma State has 57.
That's what I was talking about, the team rank. All 8 teams that made it into match play were all ranked in the top 10, and that's why I would just challenge my guys. We're a top 10 team for a reason. We belong here.
We're going to watch Falberg Johnson here at 5, and according to Bushnell, 135 yards to the hole.
It's a really good lie for Falberg Johnson out of the bunker. Slightly downwind, can just see the top of the flagstick. Want to land this about 5 paces short.
Just beyond this whole location, Amelia, it does drop off to the back of the green. It didn't quite get up on that second level. Not too bad out of that bunker, though.
And it makes it easier for players to be a little more tentative and end up short, John, just because of that fall off. It's just a couple of feet past the flag.
All right, Pewrager will be next.
126 yards for Pewrager. Ball above his feet will lend towards a draw. I like aiming something right at this flag.
If it gets a little right of it, it can kick it left. That'll work just nicely there. That's just a downwind there, but that's a right to left putt. Should be maybe the advantage for Maxey here on this hole. Weather's cooler, ball not probably going as far as it did yesterday. We talked about the greens already.
Over at 4, DeWongmany, his second.
Yeah, ball on the way from 131. That was a pitching wedge. Trying to use that slope behind.
It does it masterfully, Billy Ray. Right on line, just short. That'll be a concession.
And now Lee looking to respond.
Not taking much time to play this shot. 126. This match is all tied through 3 holes. One of the easier hole locations you'll see throughout the day. We have some tough hole placements this afternoon.
Woo! 2 quality shots right there, Billy Ray.
Gonna have a couple of birdies. One might be conceded. Great golf out of the gates. Oklahoma State and Virginia Cowboys leading in 1. The Cavaliers up early in 2. Those other 2 matches tied up. The race to 3 continuing right here in California. Back to the green at the 4th. Birdie has been conceded to Josh Dewangmani from Virginia. So Eric Lee, Oklahoma State sophomore, gonna have a birdie putt to try to tie the hole.
Yeah, really quick coming back down the slope, and even though you're forced to make this putt to tie the hole, you still have to make it with your own kind of pace. There's no need to force the issue because it's so quick coming down the slope.
Maybe a little bit of movement to his left. Not that much. And it was quick. A lot of times you get those downhill fast putts like that, they certainly don't break as much as you think they do.
Early, but the Cavaliers leading in 3 of those first 4 matches. Exactly the start you would want if you're the head coach, Bowen Sargent.
That's right. So now just take care of your business.
Pureger now for birdie to win the hole.
This is the 3rd putt in the last 3 holes Pureger has had to win the hole. Closest opportunity.
Oh, wow. Man, he hit a good putt. Can't hit it much better than that. Did everything but go in. Came in as a sub this week, too, so Stout for par here at 3 to tie. Uh-oh. James is 2 up, and for a player like James, you do not want to give him any because he's not going to let you back in.
No, this is the heavyweight match of these matches, but no doubt about that.
With the end of the college golf season, also the conclusion of the PGA Tour University Rankings, 5th year of this initiative, giving the standouts a pathway to go play somewhere. And at the very top, David Ford, #1 spot. He will be fully exempt on the PGA Tour all the way through the end of 2026. The rest of the top 10 off to the Korn Ferry Tour, 11 through 25, a place to play on the PGA Tour Americas. Wasn't always the case, John. Everyone's like, where am I going? Where am I playing? Now, I think it keeps these kids in school a little bit longer to say, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, definitely rewards those players that stay in school, support their institutions.
David Ford, the man at the top. Congrats to the North Carolina Tar Heel. Championship Wednesday continues from Carlsbad Omni La Costa Resort and Spa. Final day of the college golf season, this final match, and it is presented to you by Stiefel, Oklahoma State and Virginia, in search of ending this season as national champions. We go down to the green at 2 with the final match. Brian Lee from Virginia, Ethan Fang from Oklahoma State. This is Lee for birdie.
Yeah, putting right up that spine. Good pace. Just stayed right on that left edge, but good effort.
All right, back at 3. Paul Chang for par to tie the hole. He's 1 up in this match against Gavin Lane. Yep, solid. Good solid start for him. So he's 1 up.
Back at 2, Ethan Fang for birdie to win the hole, go 1 up in the match. And John, we talked about he started at Cal, transferred to Oklahoma State. Cowboy head coach Alan Bratton sharing with me this morning. He was a target out of high school, but he's fit in so nicely. An amazing leader from the start, never gets bothered, says he just oozes confidence and adds to the entire chemistry of the team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's, I mean, only a sophomore, but he's very seasoned, from identically the same putt. Didn't learn a whole lot. Like I said, Brian Lee
Hole
and
is tied with
Ethan
5.
Fang are in that 5th
The match
anchor
remains
spot
tied.
for reasons. Their coaches really believe in these two.
All right, back at the 5th fairway. Looks like Eric Lee will be first.
Yeah, he will be first, Jim.
136. What do you think 136 land? Close to your last hole, it skipped 5. So, and that green's pitched towards you, so I'm guessing it's going to flip 7. You like a 129 shot? Just another little, I kind of like it. I love the 50. No, I think that's perfect. You're more left, working with the wind. 129, and your wind's right here, Eric. Just going pretty much straight left to right, touch of help.
Sooners tied for first at the Norman Regional, took care of in-state rival Oklahoma in the quarters, and that battle into the early evening in the semis against the Rebels.
You know, you have to be really concerned about where you land this ball. The last quarter of this green runs away from the player. His opponent is in the fairway bunker and still yet to play a second.
Probably going to spin back off that slope and does just a little bit. Talked about skipping it up there. They got to play that into their yardage with a little bit downwind, but it's more about the speed of the greens today. That's going to be the biggest adjustment. Plus the cool weather barely right. Ball's not probably going, obviously, as far as it did the last 2 days when it got a little warmer in the afternoons.
That would be correct, Jim. And now Josh, he has got 114. And I think the loft of the club, he's got plenty of loft to get over the lip of that bunker. It's pretty steep. But it plays back uphill 4 yards. 1 up in the match right now. Well, plays a shot there. This comes out low.
Get some help. Oh, how cool is this shot? Talk about creativity. Made the mistake off the tee, but nice. I like it.
Let's go to 4. Ben James up in the match early, second to play. Stout already on the green.
He can use that backstop beyond that flag stick, and he's going to try to do it. There it comes off there. Now that's high enough that it has some speed. This could go in. It does.
How about that, Ben James?
Talk about playing with purpose and confidence. Ben James coming out strong.
Muted in his reaction. His teammate Devin Patel, he got right in there and said, way to go, Ben. An early 3-up lead in that match against Stout.
Back at the 5th hole, Eric Lee now. This for birdie.
Yeah, up the slope it's going to come, then back downhill. It will move back to his left ever so slightly.
We just start moving forward first. Had that emotional win over Cohen Trolio in extra holes last night to get Oklahoma State into this championship match.
Head over to 6. Philip Falberg Johnson just off the green, 1 up in the match and getting ready for his 3rd.
I love the decision for Falberg Johnson to go with putter because of how fast this ball will get when it arrives onto the green. Purehager is just short of the green, putting for birdie. An opportunity here for Falberg Johnson.
Just has to negotiate that first part of that putt. And I agree with you, Amelia. I like the choice of that club.
For how
Well
much
done.
Falberg Johnson's been struggling with his putting yesterday, he's had a lot of testy 4-footers like this, and he's made all of them. I believe that's very helpful for his confidence going into the rest of this round.
To Walkman now. This for birdie to win the hole.
Yeah, this is going to come across that little slope and move a little to the right.
Yep, it sure did. Just played a little too much break. But, man, what a beautiful shot. He hit it out of that fairway bunker. Just did take advantage of it, and he stays 1 up as he heads over to the par 5, 6.
Back at 6, Maxie Purehager. Good look here.
With Purehager coming just off of the fringe, the golf ball has a tendency to wobble. Would love to hit this with just a little more pace to prevent that wobble. It will turn to the right.
Yeah, putting straight up the green.
That is the 6th time Purehager has been on the edge.
He's just got to maintain his patience here, Amelia. Can't let it get to him. He's hitting good putts, putting the golf ball in good spots. It'll start to happen. Just keep taking care of your business.
All right, Brian Lee now here at the 3rd. Tracer technology presented by AT&T here. This match is tied through 2. Brian Lee 4-1-0 in match play this season. Oh, there's a cool little shot. Oh, it's got to go though.
Get up a little bit.
There's a false front there. Let's see if it stays.
Teetering on the edge there, Jim.
Back at 6, Falberg Johnson, short one for birdie to go 2 up in the match. Looking solid in the early going is the freshman.
He certainly is.
Oklahoma State is 2 up.
Standout newcomer for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, Falberg Johnson, heading to 7 with the lead. Take a look at the Fred Haskins Award, presented by Stiefel. Recent winners, David Ford, the newest member to the top male collegiate golfer of the year, the North Carolina senior, won 5 times, becomes the 2nd Tar Heel, joining John Inman to win the Haskins Award. Take a look at some of those recent names. Ludwig Oberg jumps out, a winner on tour.
Players.
Chris Gotterup, a winner on tour. Sahith Theegala, a winner on tour. Usually a really good indicator of what's ahead.
No doubt about it. All those players are PGA Tour players right now.
And Jackson Koiven has his 20th point in PGA Tour U Accelerated. He's headed back to Auburn, but he'll have a tour card waiting for him in 12 months. The Cavaliers up in 3 of the 5 matches on this Wednesday.
Back over at the 3rd, Ethan Fang now. Look at this one by the hole quite a bit.
It gets
to tie the hole.
Back past that pin there, Jim. So
that was surprising, but you're right. Once it gets past that slope, it just picks up speed. He'll go 1 down to Brian Lee.
That was Paul Chang at 4 for birdie to win the hole. Unable to convert, so he'll hang on to that 1-up lead over Gavin Lane as we're wrapping up 2 great weeks here in Carlsbad, California. And pleased to be alongside Dan Surratt, Chief Sales Officer, Omni Hotels and Resorts. And Dan, just the 2nd year of these championships at this golf course. How excited are you about the terms of the evolution and how it's happened so quickly?
Thank you, Steve. It's been a great 10 days. Hats off to the team here, Craig Martin, our managing director, Michelle Zwerek, just managing all the moving parts. You've got 30-plus teams of the women and the men coming and going back to back. It's been really impressive what they've done. Just taking great care of the teams, the coaches, and the families. Everyone's really enjoying the resort. I would say also Dustin Irwin, who is our director of golf and club, 470 volunteers. The community has embraced this event. It's tremendous. We had a wait list. We actually had to shut off the volunteers. And then big kudos, David Smallwood and our head of agronomy and the team. You know, we didn't get the rain this year that we had last year. So for them to have these conditions, championship level as they are, and the competition's been superb. Just hats off to them. And then just lastly, the partnership with the University of Texas and the College World Golf Championship Foundation. We're thrilled and honored to get 2 additional years to our 3 years. So now we're up through 2028 as a host. And we're excited to see the vision of Coach Holder and Coach Fields and their vision of a neutral championship site. And what a better place than Omni La Costa.
Yeah, you guys have done a tremendous job the first 2 years. But after this week and today is over, you got a busy month ahead hosting championship golf. What's on tap next here for you guys?
It doesn't end. We wrap up here, and then in less than 30 days, we have the KPMG Women's PGA Championship in Frisco, Texas at our Omni PGA Frisco Resort on Fields Ranch East, which is another Gilhan's Jim Wagner masterpiece. And can't wait to have many of your colleagues at NBC and Golf Channel with us in 3 weeks.
It's been first class the whole way. Our thanks to you and the entire team.
Yeah, you all have been tremendous. Thank you.
Dan Surratt, thank you so much. Looking forward to coming back here for the next 3 years as well for these NCAA championships as Oklahoma State and Virginia continuing to battle it out on this final day. And the transformation, Jim, from the renovation to last year to this year, it's on a quick upward ascent.
Well, it's amazing the condition, as you mentioned. It's improved. It's been even more playable. We saw in the women's, and we're seeing it now. Stout now for birdie here at the 5th. He's 3 down. James still has a birdie putt, so he needs to get something going. James is not going to give much. This looks good. Oh, there you go. That's getting it going. Kristen Stout is a top-class player, 6-1-1 in match play this season. That's a beautiful putt there. That kind of might change some momentum. Over to the 7th, whole location on that right side. Virginia up in 4 matches. Oklahoma State up in that 1 match. Looks like both players have caught the fairway here.
Philip Falberg Johnson will be first, 133 yards. The 2 holes in where he's won have been short birdie putts. The other greens he's hit have been 40-footers that he's 2-putted, just plodding along with the ball striking. With this right hole location, if you land it 5 paces short and a couple steps to the left, it will kick right. Want to make sure you keep this left of the flag. There's a big fall off on the right side.
Yeah, it's only about 3.5 steps to the right. It falls off into that bunker pin high. Exactly as you described it, and well played up there on that shelf. It'll feed over a little bit, got over that slope, and he's got a great chance at birdie. We didn't see a lot of those in straight play, but playing downwind, but that whole location may be a little more accessible if you drive it in the fairway.
I really like Maxi Pureger's angle because he has more space short and behind the flag in line. 130 yards.
Probably fall off in that slope, so advantage. Falberg Johnson right here again. Maxi's trying to make some putts. He's hit some good ones, just hadn't made any. All right, James now for birdie to tie. Got a pretty good idea what this does, because left early, that straightens out. 3 up in the match. Stout made a beautiful putt from about 50 feet.
Oklahoma State 3, Virginia 4. Virginia's 2 up.
So James stays 2 up, or fall down to 2 up, I should say.
Let's go to the fairway at 6. Eric Lee getting ready to go with his 3rd.
He had a long 3rd shot, 134 coming back up the hill. Drove it in trouble off the tee. His opponent is just short of the green here at the par 5 and 2.
It's a good place to miss it there, Billy Ray. You cannot miss it to the right. Come about 30 yards off the green. So out of position off the tee. Still has a reasonable opportunity for birdie.
Quick moment to take a look at college memories presented by Stiefel. We're going to go back in the archives to 2018. That was the last time Oklahoma State, the men's golf team, won a national championship. We were all at Carson Creek. Thousands, and I do mean thousands, in attendance in Stillwater, Oklahoma, to watch one of the great teams we've seen in recent memory, including then just a sophomore, Victor Hovland.
Yeah, all tour players, all very successful. That man right there went on to great heights, and this was the clinching point right there. Matthew Wolf, I was sitting right by the side of the green calling that. It was very exciting.
They were thrilled, and for good reason. A clean sweep, 5-0 shutout over Alabama in that championship match. That was title number 11. They're hoping to get number 12 here today. You've got Austin Eckroat, a winner on tour. Chris Ventura spent time on the tour. Zach Boshu, arguably 1 through 5 as good as we have seen in the last 10 to 20 years. And big time perspective going back to 1897 when Yale won the very first. There's Billy Ray's Cougars there, they got 16 national titles. He was part of 3, also won an individual championship. But Oklahoma State, with a win today, would have the 3rd most national titles in men's Division I golf history. That says a lot, considering just how many of these there have been.
Very storied program, no doubt.
All right, Dewangmani short here at 6, his 3rd.
Kind of scooped it.
Yeah, that was a really delicate shot in which he had to play there. Didn't have much room to work with. Now, both players will be playing a 4th here. Dewangmani is 1 up in the match right now.
Yeah, a little maybe opportunity missed there for Dewangmani.
Over to 7. Looks like Maxi Pewrager now. He'll be first to putt. Both players have birdie putts.
This is the first time when both players have hit the green that Pewrager is farther away. Will break left early and then right when it comes over the ridge.
And Pewrager's hit some great putts, just barely missing some edges. Races by. I'm telling you, they've got some speed, some giddy up to them. You got to pay attention.
You go that direction. These greens have some speed, no doubt about it.
And they've got some slopes, so when you go up those slopes, you got to hit it hard enough to get up there, and then it just keeps going. Got to get on the proper side of the hole.
All right, back at 6, we got a couple of forced shots for Dewangmani and Eric Lee.
As you said, John, he missed it in the correct spot, left of the hole. You could not miss right here. But this comes across that slope, but not a bad look from this position right here.
Just has to negotiate that first about 5 feet of 419 Bermuda grass. Get on these beautiful, pure distinction bent grass greens. It's just flawless. How about it? Oh, really great effort.
So par conceded. Dewangmani will have a chance to win the hole as we head over to 7.
Yeah, Falberg Johnson now has a chance to go 3 up in this match. Putting's been a lot better, Amelia, today than it was yesterday. It was kind of shaky.
It sure has been 100% inside of 10 feet so far.
Just a little too much speed, but that was awfully good putt. I think it's just a more fluid stroke. It looks a little more confident. Yesterday, oh, we conceded that one. Okay, I might have waited on that.
Dewangmani for birdie at 6 to win the hole, go 2 up in the match.
Yeah, even though the ball didn't get as close as he wanted to with his 3rd, this is not a bad position here to putt from. There is a little slope to his right. It's going to influence the putt early, then straighten up at the end here.
Yeah, definitely move to the right to start. Keep the pace up. Yeah. Opportunity missed there for Dewangmani.
Oklahoma State 5, Virginia 5. Virginia remains 1 up.
John, we talked about the speeds of the greens a little quicker. How long should we expect it to take for these guys to maybe adjust?
Yeah, they should probably settling into it now. The mowers were out there around noon, so they're not going to lose a whole lot of speed towards the end of the day. It's going to keep their speed up.
Pewrager now. Oh, that's a good stroke. The stroke looks good. He just hadn't made anything. He's had a lot of quality shots. So he'll stay 2 down to Falberg Johnson. But Virginia right now up in 4. Oklahoma State up in only 1.
First match on the tee at the par 3/8. Philip Falberg Johnson, Oklahoma State freshman, 2 up against Maxi Pewrager.
138 yards for Falberg Johnson.
Tough hole location here, Amelia. It's only 138 yards. Tough to get it close. I think you pretty much have to put it right there.
It's been giving players fits all week. Doesn't matter how short the yardage is. The prevailing wind is down as Maxi Pewrager gets set to go. The farthest right you want to be is left side of that TV tower.
It can get over the back of the screen in a hurry as well. Yeah, you have to play this hole with a little bit of caution, Amelia. That's pretty well done.
Well, the North Course, Dick Wilson design, opened in 1965. It has seen memorable moments, John. This one usually at the top of the list, 1997. Tiger Woods, Tom Lehman, playoff, the only hole that wasn't underwater.
Yeah, you were right about that. Played that year, and the golf course was just so saturated, and that was the early part of 97.
Had that tournament here for 3 decades. The fans loved it. Tiger treated us for 2+ decades. A shout out to his son, Charlie Woods, winning an AJGA event earlier today. But the renovation, couple years in the making, opened before the NCAAs last year. Gil Hanse, Jim Wagner, 6 sets of new tees. The 11th drivable. They moved the green at 16, make it a little more reminiscent of hole number 12 at Augusta National. Tee boxes at 18 could play over 600 yards if needed. Environmental improvements using reclaimed water and natural drought-tolerant native plant. It was good, and now it's really good.
Yeah, the team of Gil Hanse, Jim Wagner brought in some natural areas. It's only a year old, so now a lot of the native grasses have started to color up. It's just going to get better and better. Got a lot of character on this golf course. It's kind of link style. And it's a wonderful experience. Just going to get better and better.
All right, let's go to that opening match. Green at 8, Falberg Johnson and Pureger.
All week in match play, both Falberg Johnson and Maxi Pureger were the first ones out. It's really an important position. You're supposed to be a player that plays with a lot of confidence, that's comfortable setting the tone for the matches the rest of the day. Pureger is going to take a good look at this speed putt for Falberg Johnson. He's just a couple of feet in front of him. It's going to start out straight, and as it comes towards the flag, it's going to break right.
Yep, and down that little bit of a slope too. You have to be careful with some speed. Yeah, it needs to put the full flaps. That's what makes this little hole so difficult, Amelia, is it's played anywhere from 175 down to 126. But the green is so severe, you have to really be careful.
You add the cooler temperatures and the wind on top of faster greens. This 8th hole is going to be brutal today.
Now Pureger's turn. Grew up in Austria, from Madrid, Spain, part of the Austrian national team. And you know, he was on the sideline, Amelia, at the beginning of the week, but he earned the opportunity when Bowen Sargent just felt like a switch was needed. And boy, has he stepped up in a big way for the Cavaliers.
Sure has. It was an incredible win yesterday against Matthew Kress from Florida. Got a good look at the pace from Falberg Johnson.
Another one right across the hole, Amelia. He's got to start. He doesn't have to start. He just needs to keep playing with patience, playing with confidence.
You were about to say he needs to start making them, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you were going to say. Now Eric Lee, now second shot at 7 right here in the middle of the fairway.
A little bit colder, pretty much straight downwind though. I think a standard 40 shot lands about 50 to 52, which I think goes to about 4. So I think it's a fairly standard shot right at the TV tower. Okay? All right, man. Let's see it. Come on.
Also coming off a downhill lie here. He has to be concerned with missing to the right, so he's going to start this ball just left of the hole at the TV tower. He's got this one flamed way out to the right. And it's going to come up well short.
Yeah, came up and out of that one, but that won't be too difficult a chip shot. If he got down in the bunker, makes that shot even tougher. But, you know, it's hard for these guys, I think, during the regular season. They just aim at all the flags and to aim at just left of it. Now, Wogmany, I think that's the difficult part. I think what you have to do, John and Billy Ray, you got to aim it just at that left edge of the tower. That's your target, not the flag.
100% now. 151 also coming off a downhill lie. One up in the match right now. A little opening here for Josh. Hits his shot, flights it down. This is definitely left. See if it's enough to hold the green.
Yeah, it's not going to be, and that's going to go off quite a bit. That was just a kind of stopped his follow through, kind of just got through it, kind of pulled it. When you pull it, obviously it's going to go longer, but that's a huge mistake when your opponent's short. Got to hit that just in the middle of the green.
All right, back at 8, Falberg Johnson for his par.
Every putt Falberg Johnson has missed, he's left himself this length. Doing pretty well at it, though.
Tell you what, he stepped right up there with some confidence and
Oklahoma
trusted
State
whatever he's doing.
3,
His process
Virginia 3,
has not
Oklahoma
wavered.
State.
It was that 45-minute window yesterday that was truly situational based. It was a pressure-packed spot for a freshman who's regarded as a wonderful ball striker. It just shows you the moment is really big for everyone. We watched Ben James, his third here at the par 5 6th.
Had it to the right of the green. That's an excellent pitch shot. You cannot see the putting surface from down there. You really have to trust your spot. Really well done for Ben James.
All right, Fang now at the 5th. This is to win the hole with one down. To Brian Lee, this is right where you want it, right on that fall line. Should be a really straight putt. It's just slow. Well, in relative terms. Oh, just started a little right. I tell you what, that's the hard part, John, is being patient. You've hit good putts, and it's a long week. This is a marathon. These guys have been out here, just so much golf. You really, for the guys that like to hit a lot of balls, this is not a week you come. You gotta have your game here. You can't just find it here, and I think that's the hard part. So many of these guys like to practice, like to beat balls, and this week is just one of those. Rest sometimes is the best.
Yeah, you have to come prepared, like you said. You're not going to find your game around this golf course. It will expose any weaknesses.
Brian Lee to stay one up. And he does. It's a good solid putt there. Makes par at the 5th. It's 3-0-0 in the ACC, so he gets it done in match play. Wogmany now here at the 7th, at just over.
Well, this is not going to be too bad, Jim. Even though the green runs away from him, he's going to be pitching this ball back into the breeze, and he's off the upslope out of a pretty good lie. He's got some green to work with as well.
That really kind of landed soft. Softer than I think he expected. So he's got about 12 feet for par now. Made the mistake from the fairway.
Yeah, pretty wild miss with a short club like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Go to the green at 6. Ben James, short birdie putt. This to win the hole and go 3 up in the match.
This is Stout with the birdie at 5, but Ben James answers right back.
He's on a mission today, John. You can see it.
He looks at it. He looks like it. He's walking with confidence. He's walking with purpose. Nothing's going to waver Ben James.
All right, Eric Lee now is a little waver on that second shot, but maybe a little more of an advantage here on this chip shot.
Yeah, much more an advantage coming off the upslope, back uphill the entire length of this little pitch. His opponent's got it about 20, 25 feet maybe for his par.
That's beauty.
I like this play.
Yeah, beauty. Chip. Good.
I love this play. And so does he. That's a good chip shot. I like that he went low with it. He may have used a little bit of loft, but he really went a little bit lower with it. You don't see a lot of these guys, a lot more loft, but he went with that nice little low shot. Well played. He's got away with a miss there, and now may have the advantage. Wogmany now, he's got, what, 10, 12 feet for par?
You know what? I said 20 at the first. I think it's more like 15 feet here, Jim. And, you know, he's one up in the match right here. This is going to have a little push from the get-go just to the right here.
Well, he knows he has to make it so he can hit it with a little bit more speed than maybe if he was just trying to ease it on down there.
Well, when you factor that in, and it's a must-make situation, okay, you have to factor that into your break as well. So if that's the case, if he's going to hit this a little more speed, he'll have to play for less break here.
John, you're such a good putter.
Back downhill.
How did you make the adjustment when they've gotten faster? What did you make an adjustment?
High line. I would always go high line. Let it kind of drip in the high side of the hole.
He's got this lined up just, it looks like the left edge. Oh.
How good did that look from about halfway?
Dead center the last foot and a half. Oh my. That was a change of events. That was just, Eric Lee was like in trouble. Not in trouble, but the advantage was for Josh, and he gives the whole away. Now this match is tied. Eric Lee, maybe some momentum. Look at this. It's right in the middle of the hole here. I mean.
Take a 9. I mean, as long as I crunch it, it'll get there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I also have 5 steps short, so.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Good direction.
All right. Pewrager now, second shot at 9.
The front part of this green is 15 feet wide. Difficult to get it close is an understatement. 138 yards for Pewrager. There is a backstop behind the flag you can use. This needs to get legs.
The screen's lofted up. That's a huge mistake. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but he's going to do everything he can to get that close. It's real easy to give it short or go over. You do hit it past the hole, you know, it's a little faster coming down there, but that's the shot you have to play.
Advantage Falberg Johnson now, who can put some spin on this wedge shot. If anything, the wind is slightly into off the left. Just 99 yards, can land this hole high and then use that backstop to spin it.
Got everything lined up left, trying to push it back in there.
Yeah, aggressive tee shot up that right-hand side. Shortens up this hole.
That's really good. Watch this one. That is textbook right there.
Like Amelia said, that width is only 15 yards, 15 feet wide. I mean, that's crazy. That's why I like pressing that tee shot up there, shorten up the golf hole.
All right, we're going to go back to the tee at 8 with Eric Lee and Josh DeWongmany. According to Bushnell, 121 yards to the front, 138 to the hole, 153 to the back, and the new Bushnell Tour Hybrid provides exact distance to the pin with the laser, as well as front, center, and back distances via the unit's onboard GPS.
Nice split swing. What are you thinking at, how do you like the left edge of the hole? Let's finish with anything between that and the sprinkler heads, you're going to love it.
Yeah, such a small target on that right-hand side. Now that Eric Lee has got the tee back after the win there at the 7th, you got to expect this ball, John, out to the left and start applying the pressure now.
Absolutely, Billy Ray. This no pin to be too aggressive with right here. It'll get over the back of the green in a hurry. So anything left, use a little bit of slope. Not an aggressive line.
Nice. Get down.
Oh my goodness. What a play there by Eric Lee.
You won't see shot better than that one.
No, you will not. Now he's going to force his opponent here, DeWongmany, to go ahead and take dead aim as well.
Another pull. A little wide of his target there. Billy Ray is going to be putting down that slope really quick once it gets over the crest. A tough 2-putt.
Advantage Lee at 8. We go to 6. This is Paul Chang for par to remain 1 up.
Yeah, on the par 5-6 for par. That's hard work on a par 5. It's a good battle though.
Pureger now, 3rd shot here.
This chip is easier to not get on the green than it is to get it close.
Yeah, good call there, Amelia. That just was, that was in a bad spot. You could be playing ping pong back and forth all day if you're not careful.
Yeah, the problem with that is you play that lofted club and it's just going to stop. You got to get it on the ground with, say, a 7-iron. I just think it's going to be a nearly impossible shot, but that's your best chance to get it close.
How often do you think kids these days in college practice that?
Practice that? Not very often. And not with those clubs. They tend to use, I mean, it's all personal, but I just think it's easier to get it on the ground.
I think we saw Falberg Johnson use a hybrid yesterday from shore of the green at the 5th.
Well, with the facilities these guys have and the women have around the country, there's no reason why they can't kind of create. He gave him that putt, so he'll lose that hole. But I just think that's something you need to do in your practice. And you do this in a practice round, I think, is where you kind of practice those shots. But you can practice it all you want, but will you put it into play? That's the big difference.
Oklahoma State 3, Virginia 5.
So he's just practicing. You're allowed to do that.
Is 3 up.
So Philip is 3 up now. Fake fist pump. He's played a lot better. He looked like he was exhausted after yesterday's match for Tankersley, but he's found something.
Yeah, I was wondering how he was going to react after listening to him last night in his post round. He sounded exhausted.
And what do you say? For a moment, it was the worst day he's ever had on a golf course that turned into the best day he's ever had on a golf course.
They were both exhausted. I saw Cameron from Ole Miss after the round, and, you know, it was just one of those that just mentally, as much as physical.
All right, let's go to the green at 8. Match number 2, Josh DeWongmany and Eric Lee.
Well, John, to your point, you just referenced about the pace of the greens picking up, and you talked about taking the high line. This is exactly what he's going to have to do here with that. Once he comes across that slope up that left-hand side, he's got to take it high out to the left and let gravity start to funnel this putt back down to the right. His opponent, Eric Lee, is in there really close, about 4.5, maybe 5 feet for birdie. This match is all tied right now.
Yeah, Billy Ray, he's got to take a chance of almost leaving it on the top shelf to just barely get it creeping over the backside. He's playing opponent in there tight for birdie. Yeah, it's got some pace. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. He's going to have to make a 4-footer if Eric doesn't make this putt.
I got to think for some reason Eric Lee maybe missed his target a bit left. I think they were looking a little bit further left.
Yeah.
But he took it right at the flag here, and that is a very small section of the green from which he came from the tee. Now this putt downhill might try to work a little bit to the left, but it is going to be quick coming off that back slope.
No doubt about it, Billy Ray. I was hitting this putt earlier today, and it's just on top of that right edge. It will move a little left. I think that the slope to his, that's facing him kind of influences this. So if he hits it straight, he'll miss it on the left edge. So right edge.
For birdie to go 1 up in the match. How about that, too?
Yeah, you won't see many 2s. Honestly, that is world class.
Cowboys up in the first 2 matches. The Cavaliers, they lead in the final 3. National title on the line here in Carlsbad.
Back at the 7th, Ben James is 3 up in this match. This is a par to tie. Stout trying to make a little bit of run. Might need a little help. Ben James doesn't make many mistakes. like I said, he doesn't make many mistakes. He doesn't give many away. You're going to have to beat him. And he's not going to show a lot of emotion. It's pretty intense right now. Up 3. So head over to the 8th.
Let's go back 1 to the 6th. Ethan Fang, Brian Lee. Lee with the 1-up lead in this final one for the Virginia Cavaliers. See if Ethan Fang can keep that deficit right there. He's got a par putt and longer than he needs at a par 5.
Another lengthy par putt here on a par 5. Out of position somewhere, so really needs this. Doesn't want to go 2 down.
Got to the bottom of the hole, maybe not center cut, but enough to stay just 1 down in that match. Let's go to the tee at 8. Ben James with the 3-up lead over Preston Stout, the junior, selected as a first-team All-America for the 3rd consecutive year. Been a program changer for the Cavaliers and our tracer technology presented by AT&T. Bowen Sargent, their head coach, telling me this morning, Denny McCarthy, Ben James, the 2 best he's ever had come in, and McCarthy having a lot of success on the PGA Tour now.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get that program turned around. A couple good recruits, some belief in the culture. Oh, easy. Oh, that's a mistake there for Ben James. He will have some green to work with there, but we've seen what happens to some of these bunkers, especially on this hole.
May not get out.
A couple players just spend all day in these bunkers around number 8.
All right, first match has made the turn at the 10th. Q Rager 3 down against Falberg Johnson, getting ready to go.
With this par 5 being reachable and Purager going first, this feels like a pivotal point in the match for Purager. 265 hole, 255 to get over that greenside bunker.
Oh, he went for it. Golf shot.
What a golf shot there, Amelia. You called it.
Well, to be able to get that ball to sit so softly, John, that was impressive.
Yeah, kind of hit in the upslope, and it kind of just made it die, and that's got it right on line. Looking at this hole earlier, I didn't think you could go that direction, but he certainly did.
Well, you might have heard somebody in the gallery say, oh my goodness, he's going right at it.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Maybe with a pitching wedge, but not with a 3-wood or a 5-wood. What a golf shot.
Yeah, with 240 yards from the flag, you don't go right at this flag. You go to the right side where there's a lot of space.
Falberg Johnson.
Well, with this club, it's going to be coming in a lot more hot. Unless it hits softly, and it hits soft too. 2 quality golf shots.
Well, if they were wowed by the first one, those fans out there got to be saying, I can't do that.
That 3-iron sat like a pitching wedge.
2 quality plays by the 2 freshmen at the 10th.
The Wongmany now at the 2nd shot at the 9th.
136. It plays about 4 yards back up hill into the breeze, and that's going to come up well short. My goodness, that's going to be tough from that position.
Yeah, this green's perched up and elevated. There's just not much room there. Big time mistake.
Let's go back to 8. Preston Stout with an opening.
Has to go a little bit left of this flag stick with his opponent in the bunker. Try to use a little bit of slope. Yeah, that might catch that slope. There it goes. That's textbook right there. Use some slope when you can.
Let's head up to 9.
Yep, 2nd shot for Eric Lee.
The door is wide open for Lee now. That was from 102, and he has got this one headed right.
Oh, you can't do that.
That is a
That's worse.
big miss.
He just kind of stopped his follow through. I mean, it's just just a sand wedge in there. He can't, man. I know it's not wide there, but both players making huge mistakes.
Virginia and Oklahoma State, final two teams remaining here at the National Championships. Go to that first match on the green at 10. Two wonderful approach shots, two eagle putts upcoming. Pewrager 3 down and first to go.
Pewrager has yet to make a birdie. He would like to keep it that way with this eagle putt. Great look from below the hole. Gonna break left the whole way. Would put a ton of pressure on his opponent, Falberg Johnson, to match.
Has some late movement to the left. Kind of ran that little ridge, good speed.
And still a little bit of work for his birdie there at 10.
Maybe just outside that little zone, just outside.
Amelia, you've been with this opening match all day long. What's the dynamic between these two?
It's tense, as every match should be in the championship match, fighting for an NCAA title. I don't think I talked to my opponent once, and we talked a bunch during normal stroke play tournaments. They haven't been walking together. There's been some separation, both trying to set their own tone in the match. Falberg Johnson has been successful at it, 3 up, and can make it 4 now. All the putts he's hit, if they haven't gone in, they've been past the hole. Being above the hole now, you've got to be careful of the pace. This will turn hard right.
Yeah, being up in the match, he can dictate the pace. He can dictate everything. Should hang left.
You're good.
I buy that.
Oh, whoa, that's pretty generous.
Somebody said,
just kidding, just kidding.
Then you're waiting. So both in with 4. Falberg Johnson maintaining that 3-up lead.
Okay, well, that's pretty generous. All right, back at the 9th green. We had a lot of action here. BR, can you update us?
Well, we saw Lee miss the green to the right, played his third, hit a wonderful shot just to keep it just off the green here. He'll have a putt par. Josh hit a little pitch in just to the front part of the slope there and got it in about 3.5, 4 feet for par. So advantage right now, Virginia.
Yeah, they're up in 3 matches. Oklahoma State up in the other 2. This match, Eric Lee is 1 up.
What do you think? It's probably about 7:30.
Yeah, DeWongman, he certainly had an easier pitch shot from short of the green than Eric Lee did from the right of the green.
Well, you've mentioned it all week long. Short or long, you can live with. It's the side. Missing it right or left, pin high on some of these hole locations, some of these greens. So tough to get it up and down.
Well, this putt is going to move across the hole from left to right, so he's going to have to give it a little room out to the left.
Wow, that was going in with some speed. Good thing the backboard was there. That was, he had 102 yards in. He had to make a 25, 30 footer for par.
Wow.
That was a heck of an up and down from that right-hand side of the green. I didn't give him much of a chance to get that ball up and down, but what a play there by Lee.
Just made this putt a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, the advantage went to Josh, but not right now.
Yeah, I will tell you, this is just inside left at the most here. Slightly back up the slope. Should have no issues with this putt.
Yep, good solid stroke there. That's pretty good. That's 40 up and downs. So Eric Lee stays 1 up in this match.
back at 8. Ben James played his second from the bunker to here. This for par to remain 3 up.
Preston Stout had missed his birdie opportunity, a good opportunity, a nice up and down there for Ben James, and that's 2 saves in a row for Ben James.
And when you putt like that, according to Bowen Sargent, Ben James is as good as anyone in college golf.
All right, over at 7. Paul Chang now. This for birdie to win the hole. He's already 1 up. This should slide right if it gets up that slope. Well, that was a good read.
It's a great birdie there at this tough 7th.
So Chang goes 2 up. Virginia's up in 3 matches. Oklahoma State up at 2. Men's Golf Championship. We'll be right back.
Coverage of the 2025 NCAA Division I Men's Golf Championships continues, and it is presented by AT&T. Championship Wednesday at La Costa. Oklahoma State and Virginia both trying to win a national title. The Cowboys in search of their 12th. The Cavaliers looking for their very first.
Back at the 11th, Falberg Johnson, second shot here.
It's essential to land this softly onto the green with the penalty area long, 108 yards.
Both players laid up to here. That should have some spin on it. Oh. Okay. A couple more feet. That'd have gone down to the front of the green. Over at the 9th, Ben James now. Just looks like about a wedge here, going to choke this down. 3 up in this match. We mentioned it's only 8 steps wide. Past the hole's fine. There is a slope back there. We've seen a couple players use that slope.
Yeah, what a smart, crafty shot there from the veteran.
Yeah, he controlled the spin nicely. Just kind of that 3/4 swing. Did kind of go down and out, try to.
I mean, if you really want to hit it straight, you choke down on it and shorten that follow through.
Kind of like Pewrager here now.
Needs to start taking direct line at some flags.
Easy.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, gutsy play, may pay off. Both guys about 25 feet for birdie. That thing actually held pretty nice. All right, over to 7th, finding this from par to tie. Ought to have a little slider to it. 1 down in this match to Brian Lee. All right, got the right center there, nicely done.
It's a couple holes in a row, Jim.
Yeah.
Make some lengthy putts to just 1 down in the match. Let's go to 8. Paul Chang, this for par. A long one after missing the green with his tee shot, so advantage Gavin Lane.
Yeah, that little front bunker is just staring you right in the face. And
I think Paul's had enough.
He's had enough.
His lead cut in half.
Stout now, second shot here. Coach Bratton here kind of looking on.
See what kind of answer Preston Stout has. Ben James in there with a very makeable birdie putt. Big point in this match right here. How you answer being 3 down.
I like this. I gotta take too much off of this.
Yeah, you could tell he would not.
Maybe, I mean, the line's the same.
Not
His
committed
ball's
to that
same
shot.
target.
Yeah, you start kind of hanging there and just kind of took a couple extra looks out of that process, but good for him to back away and see if it pays off.
Yeah, good awareness.
High finish.
Come on back.
Should spin back.
Well done.
Yep.
2 quality golf shots.
Sure was.
2 of the best.
And to help him with that shot, head coach Alan Bratton, a Oklahoma State Cowboy through and through. We caught up with Preston last night to get his thoughts on what Coach Bratton has meant to him.
Yeah, I don't think I would be where I'm at in my game without Coach Bratton this year. He's been awesome. He's helped me so much, especially around the greens and with my wedging. He's helped a lot. And yeah, he's walked with me a good bit. He walked with me today in both matches, and yeah, just a super good coach and really helps me, you know, get around the golf course in a strategic way. And yeah, I mean, he's an awesome coach. He's proved that with all the guys he's coached and pushed through college, and they've been very successful on tour now. And so yeah, awesome coach, and very grateful to be able to play under him.
And Alan Bratton alongside Preston Stout today. Bratton, a really good player, four-time All-America selection at Oklahoma State, played on the PGA Tour, won a national championship for the Cowboys, part of that team title 30 years ago at the Scarlet Course in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, there you go, right. He's a good player in his own right. That's why, you know, players really respect him. Obviously a storied program through all these years.
And he coached on the women's side. He actually recruited my daughter Kathleen, or was watching her when she was playing. So, all right, Falberg Johnson now for birdie. Pretty good putt, marginal wedge shot, but it's just a tough hole location. Yesterday's was brutal on that right side.
All right, let's head over to 8. Ethan Fang getting ready to go. Our tracer technology presented by AT&T. Brian Lee one up in the match.
Yeah, we'll see how tight his little window is here, being one down. Just left of that, right at that TV tower.
Brian Lee's already missed the green, right? You see it right there, and what a wonderful shot by Fang.
Fantastic. Exactly what he needed.
Looks like they put maybe a little moisture on the greens. They're holding a little bit better. Pureger now, this for birdie to win the hole.
This could be a momentum shifter if Pureger were to make this.
Gotta hit it. He has left several putts short. He's been in on the edge. The putter's just not reacting the way he wants. Easy to get frustrated. Can't do it. 3 down. It's real easy to fall into that trap. We've all done it, and they're still learning. So you just can't do it. But you look, Oklahoma State up in 2 matches, Virginia up in 3. 3 of the matches are 1 up, so it's pretty close.
Let's go over to 10. DeWongmany, his second.
Well, wonderful tee shot. That was from 202. His opponent, Eric Lee, has got a long third after driving it in the bunker.
Easy off the back of the green there, Billy Ray.
Tee at 12, Falberg Johnson.
Beast of a hole location. Falberg Johnson trying to draw this into the right hole location.
We had it on a good line, but just a little bit short. Gonna have a little room there. Be on the upslope, perhaps, pitching.
Let's go.
A little opening, perhaps, for Pureger.
This is not the hole I would want an opening on. It's so difficult. At least because of how challenging it is, you make par. It is a likely win unless your opponent makes an up and down. 240 yards to the hole.
Just something middle of the green here would be just fine. And uh-oh.
And unfortunately, a double cross. Better not hit that cart path.
It didn't.
Yeah, he's got some room over there. He's got plenty of green to work with. Not the shot he was looking for, but plenty of green.
This James missed his putt. Now this is Stout to win the hole. Got the lead. All right, the deficit's cut to 2. Alan Bratt with a little fist pump. Nice putt by Stout as they make the turn. Let's get closer. We'll be right back.
Back to the action at 12. Pureger, his second.
Difficult to make good contact here for Pureger coming off the downslope. Fortunately, a lot of green to work with. As it goes up this slope, it will move right.
Slow down a little bit. Pretty well done.
Make our way back over at 10. DeWongmany, his third.
Yeah, coming off the upslope there. green is really racy once it gets on the putting surface.
Sent that way up in the air, Billy Ray. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, that was nifty.
Falberg Johnson, second at 12.
Falberg Johnson has to play the riskier shot, going high with it with the sprinkler heads in his way.
Caught it a groove low.
So advantage Pewrager there on 12. We head over to 9.
Yeah, Kevin laid now first to play. So the first cut shouldn't be too bad a lie, but with this whole location on the front,
That's a piece.
I don't think he likes it. But he should. Early call.
That was an early call and a quality shot.
Guess he doesn't know what he likes.
Playing.
Got to make your decision what you like.
Green at 10, Eric Lee, one up in the match and has this for birdie.
Long distance. He was some trouble off the tee. And now a lengthy birdie attempt with his opponent in there really close for birdie.
He's still away.
Over at 8, Ethan Fang hit that wonderful tee shot, John. This for birdie now to win the hole.
Take advantage. Wasn't going to break that much. And boy, what an opportunity missed.
And he's still not done.
Little quiet there from Brian Lee,
who did get up and down from short right to make his par, so it changes that quickly.
I might even give this one.
Nah.
At this point?
You wouldn't.
8th hole?
You want to get them thinking, don't you?
Once you get to about 12 or 13, then my lips kind of seal up a little bit.
All right, let's head to 12. Falberg Johnson, long one for his par.
To try and avoid his first bogey of the day, Falberg Johnson is 4 under par through 12 holes. Or 11, trying to make it 12.
Yeah, and that's where Pewrager needs to stay patient.
Over at 10, Eric Lee. A little bit of work for his par.
And more than
had a
likely
lot of
there.
those lengths.
Yep, and that will be conceded to the Wagmany. And this match is all tied now.
Yep, that concession is official. So DeWongmany tied up. All right, Pewrager, chance at 12. John, you said it. He's had look after look. Just keep doing it. Eventually, you might get one to fall.
Well, you understand. I mean, Amelia said that Falberg Johnson was 4 under until this hole. Hey, if you get beat by someone that's shooting 5, 6 under par, nothing you can do.
Absolutely.
All you can do is stay patient and stay patient right there.
All right, 4th shot for Paul Chang. He's going to go low and try to bump this into the slope. And you know what?
Get to do it again.
Do it again, and he's going to pick it up, and he's going to go ahead and give that one away. Of course, Lane hit such a beautiful shot in there. So cuts into that lead. That match is now tied. So I think Oklahoma State up in 1 match. Virginia only up in 2. Tied in a couple. Be right back. We're back at the 11th. Eric Lee, he got driver, moved the tee down here to the left. Just under 300 yards to the front.
Yeah, this is on a really good line. His opponent is laid up, and he's back in the fairway.
Depends on the kick. Oh.
Now sit.
Either way, that's a really good shot. It's not going to probably stay on the green, but that is really good. That's why they moved that tee down there. It was up on the right where they just hit irons off the tee. Moved it up there. Enticed these guys to go for it.
tee at 13. Pureger getting ready to go. A bit of momentum coming off that win a hole earlier.
Just a little dog leg right, just playing for position. 250 to that left bunker, 280 past it. Just trying to hit it to the turn.
And this 13th hole symbolizes the 13 folds of the American flag. Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, an F-16 pilot, PGA pro, and founder of Folds of Honor, was inspired by his father, a longtime professor at Oklahoma State, to turn education into a life-changing form of charity. Folds of Honor partnered with Coach John Fields of Texas to bring the national anthem to NCAA golf. The Memorial Tournament will honor this by playing the anthem before and after play on Friday. This past year, 105 students at Oklahoma State and Virginia received Folds scholarships. Truly impressive. And since 2007, as we watch Falberg Johnson, Folds of Honor has awarded nearly 62,000 scholarships, offering hope to families of the fallen and disabled. We had a chance to meet Dan Rooney at Folds of Honor, the tournament kicking off our coverage in September. Amazing work.
Boy, you just you get around Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, and boy, your day just brightens up. He's got so much energy and passion for Folds and the game of golf. He's so great to be around.
Perspective for all these young men, and spending time with the coaches this morning, they feel that from their team, not only because of the bigger picture, but it just is golf. Life is a whole lot more to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so lucky to be able to do this, and men like Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney gives us this opportunity.
Well said, no doubt.
Take a look at the road to this finals for the Virginia Cavaliers. Second at the Reno Regional. 7th heading into match play. Knock off Auburn, knock off Florida. They won the ACCs. Maybe it is their year to get the job done here at the Nationals.
It's Wongmany now. Second shot, he laid it up.
Yeah, 106 yards. That hole's placed on that left-hand side.
Quality shot, got about 15 feet. Eric Lade, he had a beautiful shot on her just off the edge and off the tee. So tricky putt to read, but I like that play for him. That was his strength.
Let's go to the fairway at 10. Breaston Stout, 2 down against Ben James, his 3rd on the par 5.
Get that left hole location kind of pressed up against that left edge of the green. Trying to turn it in from right to left. Does a nice job. We talked about it a little bit earlier on how he's really worked with his wedges and how Coach Bratton has helped him with that part of the game. That was a nice golf shot.
Yeah, let's keep it here for Ben James, his 3rd. And his practice regimen, commitment, Bowen Sargent, the head coach of the Cavaliers, said relentless. There is no one like him he has ever coached. He said the work ethic of Ben James, it's driven by his passion to be great.
Yeah, exactly. He was great as a freshman, great as a sophomore. Another first-team All-American nod for Ben James this year, right over top of the flagstick.
Well, that's what separates the elite players from the rest. It's that inner drive to be the best, go the extra mile, spend the extra hours, no question.
And we caught up with Ben James last night and asked him, what do it mean to become a national champion?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot for us. It would mean a lot for the school, more than just the golf team. My buddies back home, it's not just golf team. We got our friend group and everyone that helps us outside of golf that goes into this. So a lot of people, from strength coach, academics, teachers, all of them, they all contribute. So, you know, it's a team effort with everyone. So it would mean a lot just to represent the school and be a national champion.
And Jim, you hit on it. It doesn't happen by chance. There are many times Bowen Sargent gets to the golf facility early in the morning, and he said Ben James has already been there an hour before. First one there, last one to leave.
What's what separates them? I mean, you can't say what makes one. It's what separates them. And I think that's the big difference. All right, Eric Lee now for eagle here at 11.
This is going to be a tough two-putt from this section of the green. The balls come to rest just off the edge of the green down in the valley. So he goes up a really steep slope. On the other side of that slope is a valley, then back uphill once again. And it's going to turn hard from the left right from the get-go. If you can get this within 6 feet, I think this is a really good putt from this position.
That's within 6 feet. Yeah.
Yep.
There's just so much movement right there. That's just well judged. You know, the putting green's not like this, so you can't really practice that kind of putt. All right, back at 9. Par putt for Brian Lee to win the hole. Ethan Fang gave him one at the last hole, and now Brian Lee 2 up at the turn.
Tell you what, he's dodged a couple.
Back to 11 green. Duongmani now. This for birdie.
Well, it's a putt that he can be aggressive with coming from this right-hand side. The majority of the putt is going to be slightly back up the hill. But when you have your opponent in there, 4.5, maybe 5 feet for birdie, you have to think as a player, okay, your opponent, you got to think he's going to make that one. So in your mind, this is a must make.
Yeah, I think with the way you approach this, you want to hit it like you would normally do. That's the thing. You don't want to try to hit it firmer because you felt like you got to make it. Try to hit it with the same stroke you would normally make. Oh, wow, it didn't move at all. It was really straight. I mean, it wouldn't have broke even if it was going easy. That was really a pretty good putt. Just maybe a little bit of a misread. So opens the door for Eric Lee. Eric had such a beautiful tee shot in here. You got to feel like that maybe was his advantage, but it'd be a great 2 putt, but to 10.
Over at the green, Ben James has missed his look at birdie. Now Preston Stout, a birdie putt of his own to go just 1 down in the match.
Trying to chip away at Ben James's lead and swings just across the hole.
That could have built a little momentum.
No doubt.
A couple of wins, get a little bit closer, but not to be as we head to 13.
Yeah, Falberg Johnson's 3rd shot. Drove it in the fairway bunker.
Wasn't able to get solid contact. Almost hit that really good. If that landed 2 more yards, would have been perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately it didn't. All right, Eric Lee now just for birdie and to win the hole. Yeah, he beat Cohen Troley on those extra holes yesterday. He grinded it out, hit one of the best shots we'd seen all week on 18. And he will grind it out in this match. This is a little more momentum for Eric there. He goes 1 up.
That was a heck of a 5-wood we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Back at 13. Rigger looks like he's got a birdie to win.
Just outside of 25 feet for Pureager. Falberg Johnson has a good 20-footer for par. Another big moment for Pureager to win these last 2 holes. His first 2 matches, he's had big leads. The first match, he wasn't able to close out, lost it. The second match, was able to win. This is the first time he's really had to claw back. You have to channel something different in match play when you're down. You don't necessarily change strategy right away and just go at every flag. You can't do that with how hard the course setup is. It's more the mental adjustment of remaining positive and trying to find different ways to feel like you have momentum.
I think with the mental side of it, he was a sub. He came in the 4th round and sitting, watching, not playing the golf course for 3 days, but observing, John. I think that's a tough thing. And all of a sudden, right, you're in, go get it. And that's a big deal because these guys have been on the golf course every day, and he hadn't, but he's made the adjustment.
Yeah, it's tough as a young freshman to maintain that patience and discipline like he's showed. right now. And like Amelia said, this is pivotal right here. 3 down at one time. It's going to make Falberg Johnson make a 25-footer for par. I think
he might have to make a 2-footer, just in case.
Philip, well, little lockjaw right there.
Well, I mean,
it's that time in the match.
Well, and I always felt like I wouldn't give the putt until after I putted. I just thought that was the way you had to approach it. That way I hit this putt freer, more natural. I just think it's the little mental games that you play. But, you know, you got to feel like momentum's maybe going in Maxie's direction here. But Falberg Johnson has really putted so much better today than he did yesterday, and obviously played better.
It's truly such a big switch. Just putting so much freer. The rhythm is really good. The way in which Falberg Johnson is putting with his pace, I expect this to be touch the hole if it doesn't go in.
Yeah, pace and stroke have been so much better. Ooh.
Yeah, just a little firm. It did hit that top edge. Now we'll see.
Yeah.
Now we'll see. At a pivotal point in this match, he's got that 5-footer.
That's why we love it.
We head back to the tee at 12. Eric Lee ready to go with the 1-up lead.
Yeah, 209 at the front, 240 total, and what wind there was early on has pretty much died.
Yeah, kind of short-sighted himself there, Billy Ray.
All right, this for bogey now.
Well, when you hit it 6 feet by, that's the product of being situational with your putts, trying to get too aggressive. This is going to swing to the left.
He'll give that one, yep. So he's cut into that lead.
Yeah, remember that. Remember that hole right there. Yep. If he doesn't go on to win this match.
Well, I think for Maxie, he's stayed patient. He's hit a lot of good putts. He was getting, I don't know, frustrated, but it was getting to him a little bit, but credit to him. He's hung in there.
And remember the finishing stretch, Falberg Johnson late on yesterday is Duong Mani, tee shot on the way at 12. Oh no.
And that has missed to the left and has come to rest, and just a really nasty area, native grass just left of the green.
Stout's already teed off. Ben James now going with the driver. He's 2 up in this match. Good looking swing.
Yeah, good looking golf swing right there.
Oh boy,
that hit
that's got to get down. Penalty areas over there.
Oh, too far. That was unfortunate. That was a pretty good tee shot. Got a big old bounce there, Jim.
Stout's just over the green, so advantage to Stout. That was a big time bad break. We'll be right back.
That is the golf ball of Josh Duong Mani at 12, and he's checking this one out, getting ready for a second.
Whoa.
An aggressive move by the driver in that cart.
Brakes work.
They do.
Eric Lee is going to be first to play here. He's short of the green on the right-hand side, and he's going to have to flight this little pitch and hit it into the ridge and bounce it up the ridge. That's his only option here. His opponent over there to the left-hand side and some native grass, and Josh is going to have his hands full as well. He's hit some quality little pitches around the green, has Eric Lee.
Kind of bounce it in that little slope, Billy Ray. Exactly what he did.
Yeah, wonderful play there. I like the way he flighted that. That was really his only option with that shot.
Yeah, a little skip up that slope. That was nicely done.
Options here, BR?
Well, only one option because it's coming off the upslope. He does have some green to work with, but it is a dicey lie here. It's so easy with this native grass. There's some dead grass around. It's so easy to go underneath this ball.
Might have changed some lower loft and maybe just try to bounce it.
Yeah, you know, his follow through is going to go through some of that native grass, but he's got to be careful. If he hits this too hard, the green runs away from him.
Playing with a pretty closed club face.
Yeah, that wasn't his best. I still think if he would try to hit an explosion shot there and carry it through a little bit more aggressive swing, he might have had a little better luck with that shot. But he'll have a long par attempt.
But John, at least he gave himself a putt and didn't just hand a hole to Eric Lee.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you're looking for. A little bit of damage control. Out of position. It's getting late in the match. You're one down. You can fight your way back. Make Eric Lee at least make this putt to either win the hole or tie.
And Billy Ray, I think you're following the right match, and especially Josh DeWongmany, who's described as the character of this team, the funny guy. He makes some jokes, he plays hard, doesn't take it too seriously, but when the moment gets right, he finds that proper balance.
And what's interesting about this putt too, you're talking about forcing Eric Lee to make the putt. This is not an easy putt because he has to navigate a ridge between himself and the hole, and you don't want to get overzealous. Going to the point, you just don't want to give the hole away. This comes up the slope, over that ridge, and turning right once it clears that ridge.
Good look good for a long time. It's going to be a 4 though.
This putt from Eric Lee is going to be a huge putt, just like you said, Burko. This match has been back and forth. Eric Lee 1 up now, but to take a 2-up lead going to the 13th could be huge for the confidence of the Cowboys.
And as we start getting deeper into the back nine with these matches, not only vital and important for these current Cowboys to get the job done, there are a lot of former alum scattered around property and all around the country, glued in to see if Oklahoma State can win national title number 12.
There's a ton of interest in these matches right now. Great up and down.
That's big time.
Big time. Take a 2-up lead going through the tunnel.
Good putt there. Nice win by Eric Lee. And for more on that rich history and tradition at Oklahoma State, we say hello to Brentley Romine.
Thank you, Burko. Yeah, you can go to Stillwater, Oklahoma and look around the walls of Karsten Creek. Trophies galore. Memories of the legends of amateur and professional golf. You talked about Alan Bratton earlier, a member of that 1995 team that took down a Tiger Woods-led Stanford Cardinal. Trip Keeney, another teammate on that squad. He made the trip out to Carlsbad, California today to watch this final match. Ricky Fowler has been texting Alan Bratton all week. Victor Hovland was in the Muirfield Village clubhouse earlier today watching the early part of the coverage. And then Zach Bosho, you mentioned him earlier. Who could forget that opening 29 in 2018 at Karsten Creek? Really the linchpin for a dominating win. And Alan Bratton, the message to his team this morning, Burko, channel your inner Bosho. We'll see if Oklahoma State can do that on the back nine today.
That was a long birdie putt for Ethan Fang at 10, and Bratton went on to say, history is powerful. Why wouldn't you want it this way. It can be an inspiration, a motivation, a connection to the past, and an impetus to add to all those trophies back there at Karsten Creek.
All right, back at the 11th, the pivotal 11th. Ben Shane's fourth shot. Felt like this would be a pivotal. Drove it in the water, and he'll concede this. And for Oklahoma State, it's been pivotal because they've won this hole twice in the first 3 matches.
Yeah, a little run for the Cowboys the last 20 minutes or so, Jim.
Yeah, they moved that tee down to kind of risk the guys or reward the guys. For Oklahoma State, it's rewarding them.
We're back at 14. Philip Falberg Johnson, one up in the match, his third from off the green.
Pretty good play from down there in that little pitching area, collection area at the tough 14th. 520 yards today.
Over at 10, Brian Lee. He's got this for par to tie the hole. Currently up in the match against Ethan Fang. Solid.
He looks good over the putter, that is for sure.
All right, 14, Pewrager.
Just inside of 4 feet, not a ton of movement.
Solid par there at the 14th, going to make Falberg Johnson make a putt.
And John Pewrager now starting to see a few drop.
No question about it. I think he's starting to feel a lot better about himself. He's stayed patient. He has stayed disciplined. He's playing with some purpose right now.
Pewrager seeing a few drop at the right time. This is a big putt for Falberg Johnson, who had a 3-putt on the last hole.
But a good save there to stay one up in the match.
2 good pars on a tough hole.
Couple second shots here at 11. Looks like Chang will be first. This is always an awkward play. I mean, you got to make the decision. Do you hit the more lofted sand wedge? You go with maybe your gap wedge, hit kind of landed on there, let it kind of run. Key here is not to get too steep with this. They call that the Aussie method. The way they rake it around the edges is push down, and in the middle they take a rake through there, and it's a little rougher. That way the balls feed down into the bottom.
If he just clears that little knob in front of him, get all the way down, that was really well done.
You mean like that?
Just cleared that knob, Jim.
How about that shot? Excellent play.
Wonderfully done by Paul Chang in his journey to make the starting 5 at the University of Virginia anything but ordinary. With more on that, let's bring Brentley Romine once again back in.
Well, Bowen Sargent called that journey 1 in a million. Paul Chang went to boarding school in England, where he picked up the game of golf at age 14. He spent 3 years on the club team at Virginia, and every day he rode a motorized scooter, his golf bag over his shoulder, to the team's home course, Birdwood Golf Club. He made sure he was there when the team finished practice, when they started practice. And finally, after 3 years, he was playing in a USAM qualifier. Sargent happened to be recruiting another player in that group. What does he do, Burko? Goes out, qualifies for the USAM. Next morning, Sargent calls him into his office, says, you got a spot on the team. And 2 years later, he's an integral part of this Virginia team.
Yeah, and right before that meeting happened and he qualified for the USAM, he told Bowen Sargent, I'm going to transfer. I'm going to go to another school. Lo and behold, Bowen said, not so fast. Get back in here. He is now a member of the University of Virginia golf team, and we caught up with Paul last night to ask about the journey from a club golfer, a walk-on, to now a mainstay in the starting 5.
He let me walk on, which is a big influence. Now I'm playing college golf. And he's been coaching me well. I used to be very aggressive in my course management, and he kind of took that out of me. So now I play smarter, and gave me a lot of shots that I'm using now that I can play this course. And yeah, I thank him for all of it.
Bowen Sargent added this morning, if there's a Club Golf Hall of Fame, Hall Chang is a first ballot entry as we head to 13.
Wongmany now, here's second shot.
Thanks.
Needs to release. Oh, is that any good? That was a beautiful follow through, beautiful swing. All right, Lane's got to make this for birdie. Chang's already in with birdie. Drove it a little bit left. Didn't have much of a shot. Are you kidding me? Told you this was pivotal.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's going to remember this 11th hole for
That's
sure.
a dagger.
That for a halve, but that could be just as good as a win.
Absolutely. That was impressive.
Starting to get good.
Yeah.
Jim and John.
Yes, it is.
Look where Eric Lee's driven this.
Just 98 yards there, trying to take control of this match after that tee shot. His opponent's in there close for birdie.
So is he not too bad a shot. So both players have chances for birdie.
Let's go over to 12. Preston Stout needs this long one to tie the hole and stay just one down against Ben James.
Yeah, we've seen this putt does try to wander to the right.
Oklahoma State 4, Virginia 3. Virginia is 2 up.
Quick start by James in that one. Stout has been trying to claw back, and you don't give someone like Ben James an early advantage.
They'll go through the tunnel, and the next couple holes will be pivotal. Tough holes, 13, 14.
I think at this point every hole is becoming pivotal now. We've had an amazing last couple days. Yesterday was phenomenal. Couldn't get much better. And I think today is going to turn out to be very much the same, with Oklahoma State up in 2. Virginia up in 2.
You're the one stroking, so play it as a perfect flat. Yeah, just believe in it.
I like
just a smidge down.
You get back there and look at the read from here. It's just outside right, the read that I have here. The one, and he just hit a fantastic shot. And he has it in there about 5 feet for birdie.
Gonna stay up.
Nope.
Yeah, never got it started far enough out right.
Nope, sure did not.
I've got left early and not quite the right pace.
It's kind of been a tough green to read. There's so much of an influence from that bunker pushing it to the back of the green, and I think we saw it last week, seeing it this week. It's been a green that's been tough to read. And if it gets going on the wrong side of the hole, you're in trouble. All right, Josh got a pretty straightforward putt here.
Oh, straight back up the hill, Jim. He's 2 down the match. And what a timely second he played in here. This is starting to get good.
He stayed the kind of the same routine. He marks the ball, leaves the coin down, gets behind it, then comes back, takes the coin down, and gets back right there. Every player has what they call a routine. Stay in the process here. Beautiful wedge shot in there, and a beautiful putt and a nice birdie cuts into the lead. So that was paid off nicely. Getting close. Oklahoma State in 2 matches, Virginia 2, and we're tied in the other one. Back at the 15th, Falberg Johnson's second shot here. Hole location on that right side. Both guys got it in the fairway. He's 1 up in this match.
108 yards. There was mud in front of Falberg Johnson's ball.
Didn't affect it any.
Boy, what a nice golf shot that was.
Beautiful shot there. So You know, this game is about the mental, match play, the mental side of it here, but he's walked right in front of Josh.
Wait a minute here.
Yeah, I don't like this.
No, that's disrespectful. You got to walk around your player, your opponent, anybody you're playing with. You can't be walking through their line.
You know, I always talked.
I don't like that.
Yeah, we always talked about, guys ripping on their glove and stuff there, but there's a point where you got to be respectful.
If you can answer.
Down.
Uh-oh.
That probably won't go in the penalty area. It's not as steep. But unfortunately, it's going to. Back to 11. Fang now laid it up here. This is his second shot. 2 down in this match. Missed a couple putts. Trying to get back in it. That will help. That was just a moment ago. That was a beautiful shot. Now, Brian Lee, this is a tough little shot. Got to carry it over the bunker. I mean, this is kind of packed down, John, so it's doable.
Yeah, tried to lay the ball up and laid it up in the waist area. So,
oh boy,
a big mistake there for Brian Lee. To lay the ball up, lay it up.
Yeah, well, Oklahoma State is really, they've won, what, 3 matches. They've won 3 points on that one now. Pureger now.
Well, Pureger can...
Great shot.
That was really good from that spot.
Yeah, it really was.
Just a big mistake in that fairway there, trying to run him down. And
like he's going to give it to him, I think, and concede this hole. Really no need. No need to go hunting those golf balls.
Can't get much closer. 2
Nope.
matches for each team as they currently play the back 9. 1 is tied. The race to 3 continues. National championship going to be determined here in the next hour, hour and a half.
Too close to call. Really is. This is as tight as it gets.
We normally at this point start projecting where that 3rd point might come from for either team. We're not even quite sure where point 1's going to come from, although Falberg Johnson 2 up with 3 to play. Certainly looks to be in a good spot right there, but it's what you want. The culmination of a long college golf season, but one that will be extremely rewarding for one of the teams in a moment.
Watch this. Wow.
Yeah, Falberg Johnson gave Pureger his 6-footer for bogey, then pretty much chucked the ball back at Pureger, who was still by the penalty area, went into the water. I don't even know if they were able to get the ball. While they were trying to retrieve the ball from the water, Falberg Johnson went ahead and made his birdie putt, gave a little fist bump. So there's some mind games going on right now.
Well, there's mind games and then there's being disrespectful. And I think you're that's borderline right there. I don't know why.
I agree,
what
Jim.
he's doing. Sometimes people do it and are not paying attention, but I don't know if it was intentional, but it appears we've seen it a little bit yesterday. We're seeing it a little bit, and I'm not trying to call him out, but I sort of am, because this game is still about respect.
Yeah, it's either a 5 or it's a... I don't think you can hit a 6, 190 in there, can you? A draw, 196. You think that comes up short?
190?
Yeah. If you can land it 195, it's going to be amazing. I think you're going to get a good amount of skip on this ball, especially if you're drawing it in. You like that?
Yeah, I think,
You know that shot you hit on 11 with that driver?
Yeah.
Similar shot to that. Just turn it with the wind. You just got to cover 190, so you're looking at about 195 landing.
Yeah.
And just don't have to hit it high. Nice mid-flight, bust it. Finish it right at that person that has the head poking up. See that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Bust it.
Yeah, there's some coaching going on here now. 218 for Lee total, trying to fly this ball 195. Ball above his feet is going to help him work this ball from right to left, and that's the shot he's trying to hit.
Soft.
Okay.
And that coaching coming from Oklahoma State assistant Stratton Nolan, who was a really good player for the Cowboys a few years ago. Let's go to the tee at 16, Falberg Johnson.
I got to give Falberg Johnson an apology because he actually threw the ball at Pureager, and Pureager caught it. They were looking for his original ball, so I certainly apologize, missaw it. He didn't do anything wrong there.
I think with a 2-up lead as well, Amelia, that was a wise play for Falberg Johnson. Get it out there to the right. Don't need to mess with this pin. A lot of danger around this pin.
Certainly, you want to play conservative golf at this point. He was able to close out the match yesterday. It took 20 holes, but he did it. Now Pureager is forced to be aggressive. He's drawing this one at the flag.
Well, Falberg Johnson just had his golf bag inside the teeing area right there. That's a little suspect, but what a quality golf shot for Pureager.
That's how you respond to someone maybe getting a little too close.
A little close for my comfort.
Wouldn't have been pretty in our era.
Good thing it's 2025 and a national title on the line here in Carlsbad. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Golf Championships continue, and it is presented by Stiefel. Final day of the college golf season. Oklahoma State, Virginia trying to win a national championship. The Cowboys now lead in 3 of the 5 matches. The Cavaliers in the other 2. So this one shaping up for a little more drama, as we saw late yesterday. Philip Falberg Johnson 2 up in his match just for birdie at 16.
Hangs pretty straight right there. He even falls a little back to the right as the slope of this green comes off that front bunker towards the back, but pretty well paced.
But a big-time spot here for Maxi Pureager after the wonderful tee shot for birdie to win the hole.
This is a very quick putt. Important to be delicate and play this one enough out to the left.
Yeah, this definitely has some break to the right, Amelia. You're right about that. And it's got some speed.
Just still want to make sure you hit a committed putt.
Get a good one. Just maybe through the break just a little bit, but
Said a lot of good ones.
Yeah, he has.
Conceded though, so he's in with 3. Green at 14. DeWongmany to win the hole.
Hit a quality second shot. This for birdie to win the hole and tie the match. His opponent is just off the green with a very long par putt, and that races by a good 4.5, maybe 5 feet.
Falberg Johnson for par to stay 2 up with 2 to go.
Come on!
pretty straight putt right there. Yep. Good 2 putt.
Virginia 3. Oklahoma State remains 2-1.
Intense to say the least.
Yeah. Freshman's fired up.
All right, let's get back to 14. We're going to have a couple of par putts for Eric Lee and Josh DeWongmany.
Well, Lee's going to be first, and if he's able to knock this one in coming down the slope, now the pressure just swishes.
On the left side. Yeah. You like that? Or do you see a little less in that, more left edge? Perfect. Just good speed. Come on, man. You never know when you're going to make one of these.
And this putt just coming off the edge of the green. And once it gets on the putting surface, it gets really quick. I still think it's going to go back to the right. I think he's actually got to get this ball just a little bit outside left.
Smoked it.
And maybe still away.
Maybe.
More than likely, gentlemen, Eric Lee will still be away. Let's see what.
Falberg Johnson now at the tee at 17.
Coming off of a lot of adrenaline after that par save. That was a big moment for Falberg Johnson in 16, who hit it in the water on the 19th hole yesterday. He eventually beat Ole Miss Cameron Tankersley, but it took a while. Starting left, trying to cut it.
Seems to like it. I may not like that lie. Sat down a little bit. This whole location kind of in a tricky little spot.
DeWongmany, he's got par, and if he makes it, wins the hole.
And tie the match as well. Inside left in this position here.
Two big putts in a row there, Billy Ray. Good 6-footer for birdie at 13 to cut into the lead, and now square the match, tie the match at 14.
Pureger now here at 17, 2 down.
This is a pretty tight fairway, 310 to get into the right bunkers. The left rough, you can have some weird lies.
Yeah, Falberg Johnson's in that left rough. And Maxey's in the right rough, and his sits down even more. So tough driving hole, and neither guy hit the fairway.
Drop back to 12. Brian Lee for par to tie the hole against Ethan Fang.
Yeah, I got it out there. I was just going to stay. Got to remember where you are. Everything tends to go to the lagoon, which is to his right.
So those leads Virginia had, they're gone, but one. Oklahoma State leading in 2, Cavaliers up in 1.
Back at the 15th hole, tee shot for Eric Lee. This match is tied, going with less than driver, obviously.
Yeah, not much wind at all out here right now. His opponent has already driven the ball in the fairway.
And so is he. Stay out of there. Okay, both players hit the fairway. Now just sand wedges back into this hole location. Pureger now, second shot at 17.
199 yards. Fall off on both sides. This is a hard green to hit.
Sure is. And that is a big time miss and short-sighted. That was way offline. Advantage, Falberg Johnson now.
All he needs to do is hit the green, but boy, is that difficult. In a situation like this, 166 yards out of the rough, gotta land the short of the flag.
Yeah, ball is sitting up pretty decent, so see if it stays on the green. There is a fall off there that'll feed over to the right. And it gets down in that bunker, and I get down in the flat, so both players missed the green. That's a little easier bunker shot than where Maxey has it left of the green.
Yeah, just needs to tie the hole.
Sure. Well, he won here yesterday, 20th hole against Tankersley, so maybe he's liking this hole. All right, Lane here, one up here at 13th.
Aggressive tee shot here, Jim. Taking driver out.
Oh,
Yeah,
sir
well
is
done.
right. How about that shot?
Excellent play. Aggressive off the tee. Looks like it's going to pay off.
Yeah, he's turned this match around. He's ready to go. Beautiful shot.
Our final day here, the NCAA Championships at Omni La Costa Resort and Spa continuing, and it is presented by Stiefel. It's been a great 2 weeks. The women, Northwestern taking down Stanford. Maria Jose Marin winning the individual title. Into the men here this week. Oklahoma State or Virginia going to leave at the top of college golf. Right now, a little bit of an advantage for the Cowboys. but
Yeah.
still no points on the board.
Not yet. Looks like that first match might be their first point unless something miraculous happens. But it's pretty tight from there on. This is going down to the wire.
And these are two really good, solid teams.
Yes, they are.
Virginia winning the ACC for the first time ever. Great history at Oklahoma State. We expected that. You knew it'd be a battle. They both played very well this week. And we've had some really good matches. And today, little different conditions with cooler weather, not as much wind. They made the adjustments. Greens are faster. Wongman, it looks like he's next to play.
And we get identical yardages here for both players.
And according to Bushnell, 83 yards.
Jim, it's going to be interesting here because this is the easiest hole location these players have seen on this hole throughout the match play process. There is a little ridge to the left to help the ball funnel back to the right. But if you're Josh, this is, with this match tied, being first to hit, I think is a huge advantage if you can apply the pressure and hit a good one.
That spins, it could be good. Could be great. Is that any good? That was aggressive, but well played. A lot of birds there, maybe Omen. Pureger's third here at 17.
Ball's sitting down. If Pureger was a little left, he could bump it, but has that bunker to deal with.
He's going to have to win this hole, and that's not going to get it done. Falberg Johnson in the right bunker, plenty of green to work with. This could end soon. All right, Eric Lee now, second shot at 15.
Pressure right back on Lee. He's caught this a bit heavy. He's pulled it a little bit. Well, that was very fortunate. That ball hit on the downslope just on the front of the green and took a big skid, but he's going to have a birdie a putt. But what a shot there by Josh in there.
And it had some spin. A couple good shots. All right, let's go to 17. Falberg Johnson, third.
With Pureger still in trouble, all Falberg Johnson needs to do is get this on the green.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, all you're trying to do is give yourself, you know, just trying to tie the hole. You're up 2 with 2 to go. Brian Lee now for birdie to tie. Here at 13. Excuse me, that was Chang, my mistake. Forgot Lane hit it in there close. I gave it to Lane anyway. So Lane goes 2 up.
It was 2 down after 7.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Chang had kind of command here, and it's his turn. I'm telling you, that 11th hole changes everything. All right, Pureger now. And that's probably going to do it. Fought till the end, but didn't make the putts early. I'm assuming he's going to concede this, but see what Johnson does here. Oh, we're not quite done yet.
Johnson's pretty much secured this point, just needs to lag this one up there. I give Falberg Johnson a lot of credit after struggling to close out his match yesterday. He was 3 up early and should have won on the 15th hole. It ended up taking him 20 holes. He finally did it with a birdie on 17 at that after struggling with 5-footers. Came out today, was 4 under par through 11 holes. Had a couple of bogeys there where he struggled 12, 13, and then came right back in it.
Yeah, he kind of got it back together. We wondered, you know, that as long as those matches were, you know, would he have anything left? Can you come out 4 under early? Played some incredible golf early on, and, you know, maybe a couple hiccups, but all in all, he's kind of straightened it up, and he's played the best.
Yeah, they sent him out early for a reason, and why not walk it in and just...
Yep, and that'll do it.
Authority. Pretty impressive, this young man.
Yep, good play.
Freshman?
Yeah, Oklahoma State has 4 sophomores that are freshmen. So that's a 3-1 win.
They're young. Alan Brett knew there was potential, and it's gone from 0 to 60, especially in the spring.
Eric Lee got a great kick on his second shot. Now he's got a chance for birdie. Longmany in there really close for birdie as well. A couple of good shots into this hole location. This match is tied, so I mean, you got to plan on Josh making his putt.
Eric Lee and Coach Nolan have looked over this putt from every direction. It's got to be coming back to the left because that ridge just to his right.
Yeah, there's a little influence there. There's a lot. Everything to me on this golf course just goes to the back right part of this green in that direction, and we've seen putts do that. There may not be. You got to keep it in the hole though. Can't get it out on that right edge. Good putt. Hit a beautiful wedge shot in there. Answered the shot in there. Well done. That was a good read and then execution, no question. Missed a couple chances, but he made that one. The Longmany now kind of got to get recomposed here. Composure could really change quickly, but he hit such a good shot in there. Probably felt like he had a chance to win the hole.
You know, on a similar line than Lee, so there's no question what this putt does from here.
Okay, a couple good birdies there. That's a tight match coming down. Both guys with beautiful shots in there. And while we got a moment, it's sent down to Amelia.
Thank you, Jim. Philip, on this 17th hole yesterday was your 20th hole to close out the match against Ole Miss's Cameron Tankersley. Today, it only took you 17 holes. What was the difference in your game for you to be able to come out so strong today?
Honestly, I thought my game was pretty similar. Just stayed more disciplined today. And, well, I came off to a good start. And, well, it helps to be in such a situation yesterday and come out strong. So that definitely helped me today, knowing that I'm capable of winning. So, well, it was a little less nerve-wracking today, I would say.
You're certainly capable of winning. You're 3-0 now this week in match play. What's the difficulty in staying disciplined when, as a player, you want it so much for your team?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm probably the worst person to ask since yesterday, but I would say just, well, since it's a match one-on-one, I feel like sometimes you take too much of a risk because you always assume that your opponent's going to make the putt. That's kind of the mentality that you have to have. And sometimes, I mean, you don't make every putt. So, well, just know that still he needs to make one less shot than you on the hole, and just, well, head down and move on.
Thanks for the time, Philip. Good win today.
Thank you very much.
Point number one for Oklahoma State, courtesy of the freshman, Philip Falberg Johnson.
Yeah, and 3-0 in match play. That is very impressive.
Ben James 2 up in the match, his third at 14. And this is nicely done because Preston Stout already in with his 4, so James is going to maintain that advantage.
2 pars on a tough par 4.
13th hole. Fang to win the hole. This for birdie.
This putt break pretty good from right to left.
Nice putt. So Fang goes one up. He's missed a couple, but he's hanging in there against Brian Lee.
Now we project a little bit because this match getting a little bit more important for Virginia. Dwangmani tied up against Eric Lee. Oklahoma State already with a point leading in those final 2 matches as the race to 3 continues. And we'll see what Josh will do here. There's the hole location. A gentle breeze. Hasn't quite picked up, John, as we've seen on some other afternoons here at La Costa.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive these 2 players want to be. 159 yards all in, but you only need to carry it about 152 over that bunker if you go on a direct line.
This
Tracer technology presented by AT&T.
This should be a nice solid 9-iron from this position. You'd love to bring this shot in from right to left. This match all tied.
It's that down slope. That's pretty well done. Very makeable from there.
Got to go over.
Keep it right here to see what Eric Lee does.
You like that? It's an aggressive swing.
Yeah. There's definitely wind up there.
100%. It's either that or it's just a chippy 9. If you hit 9, you're going to have to probably cut it.
Yeah.
But you like that?
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Come on. 56 pin, 46 cover. And you're going right at that microphone now. 46 is playing about probably 42.
John, I like what he's done here. He's gone over the right-hand side of the tee box as Lee to try to create just a better angle to that hole location. Cut on that left-hand side today.
No doubt about it. Kind of gives you a little more room. Sometimes when you take a lot off of it, it falls out of the sky. He tried to take a bit off of that. Going downwind, you want to swing hard and create some spin. Keep the ball in the air.
Advantage Dwangmani at 16. That match tied up. Oklahoma State already with a point. Back to the green at 16, just short of it in that bunker is Eric Lee.
And he's got a decent lie. And he's got some green to work with here. And the ball just slightly on the upslope. That's going to help him.
Yeah, we'll pitch on a little bit of a downslope.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue for him. I think he'll just splash it out. I think this ball will land it on the front quarter of the screen and let it trickle back down. Sand is pretty heavy, so he's going to have to keep the speed up.
There's a little bit of a backstop just beyond this hole location, so I could use that if it runs out. Well played.
Let's go over to 14. Gavin Lane, late charge here over the last 7 or 8 holes to extend his lead to 3 up if he can make it for par, and he does.
And I tell you what, he has absolutely put the hammer down.
He has changed that one quickly. Back over at 16, Dwangmani is going to have a birdie putt to win the hole and go 1 up in the match.
Yeah, John Cook and I were talking about this putt during the break here. On occasions, you look at this putt, it's going to go, you think it's got to go back to the left, but it definitely will hang out to the right and potentially move back to the right at the end. So this is a really tough read.
Yeah, if you hit this straight, you have a chance to make it. If you think that that back right has any influence to move it to the left, it just doesn't do it. Well, just what we thought, but good pacing on that. It's going to make Eric Lee make a putt. It's not an easy putt. Little 3.5, 4 footer with a little bit of left to right break in it. Got some speed too, Billy Ray.
Yeah, there's a great crowd around the 16th green, and you can feel the tension. It's mounting as this thing's getting late in the afternoon. And this is a huge putt for Eric Lee.
John, how would you deal with this moment, with that view and what Billy Ray said of more and more people are starting to surround this green?
Yeah, it's the process at hand. Take care of your business. Go through your process. It doesn't change. The pacing doesn't change. Your routine doesn't change. Take a couple deep breaths. Pick out your spot. Free your mind. Make the best stroke you can. Just like that. Good little battle right here. What a match.
Great save by Eric Lee.
All right, 15th green. Stout for par here. Couple down to James. He's been trying to break into it. James already in with par. James took an early lead, was up 3 at one time.
Yeah, Preston tried to battle back, but
it's tough when you get 3 down to a player like Ben James. Both those guys, fantastic players, but Oklahoma State with a point on the board and up in a couple others. Back at 17th tee, Dwangmani now on the tee with driver.
Yeah, this match all tied. Breeze starting to pick up a little bit here. Yeah, this is up the left-hand side, trying to cut it back. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, Jim.
It's not. It just depends on the lie, and that might nestle down a little bit. Depends when he gets up over it. That's been tricky from out of those kind of sitting down lies. So Eric Lee's next.
Yeah, not taking much time to play his tee shot here at 17. And this really looks good up the left.
Yeah, that was a good looking swing. I like the pace he plays. Makes his decision, goes ahead and hits it, and he's got it in the left side of the fairway, and that'd be just fine. Maybe a little bit of advantage for Eric Lee.
Coming down the stretch, the back nine on this Wednesday. NCAA Division I Men's National Championships, Oklahoma State and Virginia, and it is presented by AT&T. The Cowboys already with a point courtesy of Philip Falberg Johnson, a 3-1 win over Maxi Pureger. Virginia looking like they might respond here. Ben James 3 up, heading to the tee at 16. Got one match tied, and Oklahoma State leading in the other two. They put on a nice little 45-minute charge to flip the narrative, John.
Yeah, right there in the middle of the day, 10, 11, and 12 seemed like it kind of took a little bit of charge into this this matchup. So if they win this, they can look back right there at the 11th hole where they, I think they made 3 points.
Got a little mud on the ball here at 15. Both guys are taking a look here. Both guys, I believe, hit driver. They had drivers out. But yeah,
they did both hit driver, Jim. It was an aggressive play. Paul Chang hit an amazing shot, just 43 yards. Lane got lucky with it. It was going right, and it looked like it was going into the penalty area, but it hit a soft spot in the fairway, unfortunately. That means that there's a lot of mud on the ball in the front and to the left, so it's certainly going to knock this down. Just 68 yards. Got to get a little bit creative with this one.
Yeah, a lot of times from this distance may not affect it other than maybe the flight. It shouldn't make it go right or left. It's just a matter of when you get over it, you have to commit to the shot. And according to Bushnell, he has 68 yards.
Sometimes with this short of a yardage, the mud can just knock the ball down a little bit. air on the front part of the green, a couple steps on.
Needs a spin. Oh, this could get really good. Watch this.
Yeah,
Don't give up yet.
Better and better.
That's beautiful. Well played. It doesn't matter if you got mud on it or not. That was excellent. Very nice. He has played some great golf this last 9 or 10 holes. Well played. Dwangmani now at 17.
Jim, you could not place it any better in this rough over here. A perfect lie. A terrible angle, though, coming from that left-hand side. He's got 180 front, 200 total. He's just trying to fly it just to this front number here, and he's got to go just right of the flag. You don't want to miss left either and short side yourself in that deep left bunker.
Yeah, the reason you're saying it, oh yeah, why is it tough? Well, just short of it, and on the left is a little bit of a spine, a little bit of a slope that he's going to have to go across. If he goes right, it's flatter, but if he misses it left, he's just, you cannot short side yourself.
Trying to bring this ball in very high. It's headed to the right-hand side of the green.
That'll fall off into the bunker. Penalty when you hit it in the rough. Just can't always judge what it's going to do coming out. He'll have green to work with, though. All right, Shanks second here at 15. Well, he got it too close to the green. Couldn't spin it, but it's not a bad shot. But when Stout hits such a beautiful shot in there, big time advantage. Right back at 17, Eric Lee.
He is in the driver's seat here, just 181. Puts his opponent in trouble in the bunker to the right. You got to take this ball right of the flag and give yourself about 20, 25 feet back up the hill. That's all he's got to be doing here. Really steep angle of attack. This ball's going to have some spin on it.
Yep, smart play. Well thought out. And he's got a good chance for birdie, too. He had a tough match last night against Cohen Trolio. Pulled it off, hit some quality shots. He's a good player.
Let's go over to 14. Ethan Fang, short one for par to win the hole and go 2 up in the match against Brian Lee.
That's that anchor match.
Starting to go the Cowboys' way. When you look at that board, they're in a really advantageous position.
All right, Lane's in with birdie. Shane has no choice but to make this to tie.
Well, this is a tricky putt to make, too. It breaks right, and depending on the angle, might pull left.
It's a must make.
And he didn't. Not quite sure why he's marking this. Well, he's got to, I mean, he's lost the hole.
Lost the hole and lost the match.
Correct.
He's 3 to.
Maybe he didn't give him that putt. Yeah, we might have
the putt yet.
I would have, but I'm not playing.
Tough to see from here, but doesn't appear that there's a ball mark in that vicinity where Lane's ball ended up.
Well, Lane has the ball in his pocket and his putter next to him.
Okay, well, he didn't get it in there, but he's got the pars. Lane's in there 2 feet. Maybe he used a penny, couldn't quite tell.
It's It's been a great bounce back for Lane, who was down early in this match. It can be so difficult to mentally have to flip the switch when you lose a bit of confidence after being down. It's so easy to focus then on your opponent. He's done a great job at staying locked in on his game, taking it shot by shot, and it's rewarded him.
Yeah, he was down 2 going to 7th. Now this to win the match. Lost, he won 8. Tied it at 9, won 12-13. Credit to him. Fought back, played some great golf there those last 8 or 9 holes. Kevin Lane with a point on the board for the Cowboys. Wins 4-3 against Paul Chang, who's had a beautiful week. Nice playing, Gavin.
Point number 2 for Oklahoma State. So Virginia backs now officially against the wall.
Need to run the tables now.
This is at 16. Preston Stout needs to make this. Ben James already in with his par.
Already off the back of the green. Ooh. Oh, clank off the flagstick.
Nearly did.
Good effort.
But Ben James went out and accomplished what Bowen Sargent, the head coach of Virginia, hoped and probably expected from a 3-time first-team All-America selection. There's point number 1 for the Cavs.
Longmany now 3rd shot at 17.
Well, he's going to have to reach into his bag of tricks given the situation. This is straight back downhill once it gets out of the bunker.
Oh, with a little run shot here. This is really sporty. Excellent play.
Standing play.
Man, given the timing and the situation that he's in, that was absolutely fantastic.
Eric Lee got a beautiful shot in there, though, but he's got a very makeable putt going up this slope. Got it on the proper side of the hole. Just a matter of getting this read correctly. And they've read the putts pretty good these last couple holes.
You know, one thing about Eric Lee and his putting day, well, there's only one time, but he has been really good with this pace throughout the afternoon. And we've seen some really good golf by the 2 players here this afternoon. Great crowd around here at 17.
Josh was 1 up through 6, lost 7, and Lee turned it on from 8 on. Did he?
Buries it.
He did. What a putt by Eric Lee. He makes birdie. Go 1 up. That was well played. Got it in the fairway. Hit a beautiful iron shot in there. Rewarded with a putt. And he'll go 1 up going to 18. It's been a really good, fun match. Gotta take another look at this. Just watch how he keeps his head steady. Holds the finish. Iron it. Daring it. Got it. Clutch. And while we got a moment, this is down to Amelia.
Thank you, Jim. Gavin, you started out your match down early, ended up getting a dominant 4-3 performance. What was the turning point in your match?
I think starting on hole number 12, I made a good putt to tie the hole with a birdie. And that was where I knew I kind of flipped the momentum on them, and it was just all gas from there.
With the legacy of Oklahoma State trying to win their 12th national title, what have been the messages from some of the players, your coaches, on what you guys are trying to do today?
A lot of good lucks. Everyone back home supported me, texted me. People I grew up golfing with, you know, just telling me good luck. And then pretty amazing how many fans we have here today. That made it pretty special.
Well, congrats, Gavin, on earning the 2nd point.
All right, thank you.
Jim?
We will head to 18, Amelia. And they're getting closer. Eric Lee set to go 1 up in the match.
Yeah, penalty area down the right-hand side. Breeze is picked up back into the player's face. What a birdie that Lee made back there at 17 to go 1 up in this match.
325 through the fairway, right at that fountain, Billy Ray, so he can free swing it into the wind. You will not forget the second shot he hit in here last night. Absolute pearl with a 5-wood. Another good tee shot.
John, more than likely with this wind today, it's going to be a 3-shot hole. It's cold and we'll back into him, so ball not traveling as far today.
Now DeWongmany.
He has a second gear. He can push it out there. He will definitely have to let this one go.
All right. All right.
Tried to save it with that follow through.
That hits the cart path.
For sure. For sure.
Dave?
I don't know. We'll find
And
out.
into the penalty area.
Into the penalty area, guys. It is not in the water. It's in the tall native grass up the right-hand side. And in a nasty lie, but he is in the penalty area.
Oklahoma State getting closer. Might Eric Lee seal it here on 18? We'll find out when we come back.
Back at the 15th hole. Fang is 2 up in this match. Bryant Lee, he's got to make this to win the hole. Hit a beautiful shot in here. Trying to cut into that lead of Fangs. And he's done that. Nice putt. So Fang is 1 up, head to the 16th.
Beautiful stroke right there.
Yeah, he'll need to make a few more of those. Bowen Sargent, their head coach, you saw for a moment, said he and Denny McCarthy, another Virginia Cavalier, the 2 best putters he's ever seen.
Wow. That stroke. Yeah, I believe it.
All right, over at 18, Eric Lee, Josh DeWongmany. Lee in the fairway. DeWongmany in trouble, and Lee with the 1-up lead.
It's going to be interesting the play that Lee makes here. He's got 272 to the front. By my calculations, it's about 235 yards will carry that penalty area.
That 210 to cover, so I think he's just bust drive or bust through it up there. Probably hover a little bit on the left side, don't you think? Pins right here, so anything between the flag stake and basically the 2 white chairs is a candy up and down. Okay? Yeah. Wind is just straight into you. So you start it right at the flag stick, draw it just a hair left of it at the American flag. Come on, Eric.
Pretty aggressive play here, Billy Ray. He's taking a go at this.
I like that. I really like this play. He's been aggressive off the tee throughout the afternoon. He hits a solid one here. That penalty are not in play at all.
No, and he hit a great 5-wood last night. Just draw on that experience.
Now this is a 3-wood here. This one's headed out to the right.
Right. It's penalty area over there. And it will find that penalty area. There's no water in there, so it might be playable. It was an aggressive play. I'm not sure it's going to pan out, though. He's just given
DeWongmany a little bit of hope.
Absolutely. Just press it down the fairway, try to make for the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, very fortunate this ball, even though it is in the penalty area, is outside the water. Nasty lie, though, but he can push it up the fairway.
Has a tendency to heel grab and turn over, but safely in the fairway.
And Josh DeWongmany has to win this hole.
Has to win the hole.
Virginia's got to win the last 2 matches, and they're trailing in both of them. And it has been a great 2 weeks here in Carlsbad, California. Omni La Costa Resort and Spa, the North Course, hosting these national championships for the 2nd straight year. So many people have done so much, from John Baldwin to John Field. Everyone on this list has played such a vital role for making these student athletes feel welcome and creating a memory they will have for the rest of their lives. Our thanks to each and every one of them, and want to also Give a shout out to Julie Kimmins, part of the NCAA committee, who's been here for so many championships in the past, unable to make it out to California this year. We are sending her our very best and want to let Julie know we are all thinking of her.
First class event. Everybody's had a blast. What a great showcase for college golf last 2 weeks.
Thought this might be a more stress-free walk down 18 for Eric Lee, but with the Wongmany going to hit his third first, Billy Ray, you hit it up on that green 10, 15 feet. Don't go anywhere. We might still have something left to go for.
No doubt. I haven't got a look at the live from Eric Lee just yet. Still back in the fairway. I'll give you an update on that shortly here. Now 164. And where this pin is positioned, this is very doable. He's got a little backstop behind it. Light breeze into his face.
No real obstacles here, Billy Ray. Like you say, he's got a little bit of backstop.
Could be he's looking right down the barrel of the flag stick right now.
100%. Has to. Underneath the hole. Good shot.
John, after those tee shots, thought, okay, Oklahoma State's going to win it again, and they still might. But there's the golf ball. We see it now, what Eric Lee will have for his third, Billy Ray.
He caught a huge break, avoiding all of that native grass, probably a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 yards just in front, and that was going to be brutal. Now, even though the lie's not great, he's got a clear path, pitching back up the slope, and the lie's not that bad. He caught a huge break after that second shot.
Yeah, he certainly did, Billy Ray. Now, anywhere on the green. Anywhere on the green. Don't try to get fancy.
He has hit some spectacular shots through the afternoon around the greens. He has shown he's got some skill in that short game.
Eric Lee, Ethan Fang, the two Oklahoma State Cowboys remaining on the course. Both transferred in from Cal. They were the co-freshman of the year a season ago at Berkeley. They were both targets out of high school from a recruiting standpoint to try to get him to Stillwater. It didn't materialize in the beginning, but Alan Bratton, Stratton Nolan have always admired this young man's competitive drive. There's something special, as they shared with me this morning, about Eric Lee, and what a moment to validate all those thoughts.
Yeah, we've seen it. Saw it last night, seen it today.
What's up? You get ground, but you just don't want to go. So you don't want to go. I think your lie's pretty good, but I think I give you 10 shots. Every one of your bumps gets on the green. I go high shot, land short, stand short, anything that is too far. You got about a 5-yard. I think low is for sure. Probably like a sand wedge, I would say. Back to the
Well, he's going with a little less lofted club here, and where he wants to land this ball to try to hit this shot. It's interesting. Coach Nolan, the assistant coach at Oklahoma State, is talking about maybe landing this ball just a little bit short and chasing it up. This is an interesting play here.
It's a little risky, Billy Ray. I got to be honest.
Yep,
I want to get something flying up on the green. I think you want to take as much inconsistency out of play. He very well may pull this off. I would like to go in a little higher, land it on the green. And he does pull it off. Outstanding.
What a shot by Eric Lee.
A lot of ways to play that shot. He went with what he felt was best, and he pulls it off. Outstanding. Check this out. Goes with a little less loft. Runs it along the ground. If he was going to try to bump it, it might have stayed, but that had a lot of roll out to it. Caught it. Catch and the contact were perfect. That very well may win them the national championship. That shot right there.
And John, you hit on a key point. Ultimately, it's up to Eric Lee to commit to the shot he believes will give him the best result.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of ways to play that shot. He felt that was the best way to go. Pulled it off.
Eric Lee one up in the match. DeWongmany, Billy Ray needs to win the hole, and they both have birdie putts.
Well, and this is a very makeable putt here for Josh. It comes back up the hill. It's going to move a little to the right.
Match is conceded.
The concession has happened. It's championship number 12. Oklahoma State has won the national title.
Awesome. Well done. Good shit, brother. Come on. Good stuff. Good job. Congrats, guys. Congrats, guys. Congrats,
Basically the shot, the one in the title.
Chooses to play the little bump shot. Rolls right through that 419 Bermuda perfectly. A shot he'll remember the rest of his life.
And then it trickles down over to the green at 16. Bratton, Ethan Fang, they found out they're national champs. Eric Lee clinched it, and he's down with Billy Ray.
Hey, Burko, thanks a lot, Eric. Incredible finish there. You get that third and final point for Oklahoma State to win its 12th national championship. Tell me about the emotions you're going through right now.
Honestly, it feels unreal. I didn't really know what to expect coming into today because I've never really been in this type of situation. But I'm really proud of the guys, the way they fought. I had a lot of faith in them, and I knew that even if things didn't go well for me today, they had my back. So, yeah.
You clinched it yesterday. You clinch it today. What does this do for you as a player, being able to perform in such a positive manner in some stressful situations?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about positive. I try to be as positive as possible, but I think I got a little negative out there at some point. But Stratton, my assistant coach, he kept me calm, and I think we were just going through like what we were gonna do on each shot, and very detailed. He's a very detailed guy, so I think that helped a lot, especially with the putts. Made a good putt coming in on 17, so I think, yeah, that was a big moment for me.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Brantley?
Billy Ray here with Bowen Sargent from Virginia. Bowen, what will you remember most about the way these guys fought today, even though you guys didn't ultimately end here with the trophy?
They played hard. We got up to lead early and gave some back. We kind of struggled all week in holes 6 through 11, and we did it again today. But, great group, ACC champions this year, and NCAA runner-up.
Bowen, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Burko?
Bowen Sargent class act. They've been building something special in Charlottesville. They come up just a little bit short in the national championship, but the Cavaliers are not going anywhere. But This day it belongs to the Oklahoma State Cowboys, National Championship number 12, John.
Storied program. Congratulations to the Cowboys. National championships once again.
The standard in Stillwater is high. Make room at Karsten Creek. There's another trophy headed back home.
Oklahoma State.
The action on this championship Wednesday has officially concluded here at La Costa as Oklahoma State has won their 12th national championship in men's golf. Such a storied tradition, starting with Labron Harris to Mike Holder to Mike McGraw. Now Alan Bratton as a coach has won his second national title, and they are tied third all time. This dates all the way back to 1897.
Yeah, we talk about storied programs, you know, all day, and Oklahoma State right on top of that list.
They won a title in the 60s, 2 in the 70s, 3 in the 80s, 2 in the 90s. They've won 1 in each of the last 7 decades. Highlights from the day: Philip Falberg Johnson. First match out, 2 freshmen going up against Maxi Pureger, and this shot on 15 inched him a little bit closer.
Well, he certainly didn't play like a freshman this week. 3-0 in match plays, always in match play, always the first out in each matchup.
He had 2 putts at 17 to close out Pureger. He uses one, point number 1 for Oklahoma State. What a charge Gavin Lane did and put on against Paul Chang. He was 2 down through 7, and then he put the foot on the accelerator.
Yeah, 2 down early, then absolutely put the pedal to the metal. Great shot out of that left rough there at 9. And then the birdie at 15 right here to clinch his match. So and another point.
Yeah, 2 points for Oklahoma State. The sense that the tide was turning. Virginia had some leads early. Cowboys rallied. Eric Lee had some moments on 18 the last couple of days, but this is third from the penalty area, as good as you'll ever see.
Yeah, fortunate to get that lie. Played the shot that he was most comfortable with. A shot that he'll remember the rest was like that, clinched basically the point, the championship point.
4-1, the final score for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Trophy presentation coming up when we return. Great theater and drama for the last 2 weeks, especially on this final day. The Oklahoma State Cowboys once again are national champions, and for the trophy presentation, we send it down to Amelia.
Thank you so much, Burko. I would like to introduce NCAA Division I Men's Golf Committee Chair Josh Haas-Kariog, who has a national trophy to hand out.
On behalf of the NCAA and the Division I Men's Golf Committee, it is my honor to present the 2025 National Championship Trophy to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Congratulations. Congratulations.
This is special. Here with head coach Alan Bratton. Your team was down early against Virginia. What did your players show you in the way they were able to turn their matches around and come out victorious?
Well, these guys have showed toughness all year, and we talked about that. If you get behind, you just keep plugging, and the tournament starts over every day and every hole, really, in match play. So proud of our guys. You know, him saying we were national champions, that sure sounds good, and it looks a lot like Karsten out here with all our fans that flew out. So what a special day for Oklahoma State.
Well, it's your 12th national title, your first in 8 years. How do you put into words the journey it's been to get back on top?
Well, I mean, that's the goal. Every team starts out with that, and only one team gets to leave with the trophy each year. So just these guys put in hard work, and you do that with a chance to play with pressure. I listened to Preston talking to our freshmen this morning about that, what a privilege it is, and how you can perform, and it really allows you to raise your level of play. So all of them did a great job, and yeah, we're lucky to be on top.
The man standing beside you, Eric Lee, clinched for you guys to get into the finals and now to win the championships. Eric, how do you describe this moment, what you've done for your team?
I don't think I could describe it into words. It's just a great feeling. I've gotten so close with all these guys this past year, and I don't think I'd I don't know if I'd ever want to win a national championship with anyone else. So, yeah, love you guys.
Coach, the legacy of Oklahoma State, Ricky Fowler, Victor Hovland, I could list so many players. How do you continue to build such a historic program year in and year out?
Well, it was awesome overnight. I heard from a lot of those guys. And I told you to send me softballs. I'm going to start to lose it. But heard from a lot of them, and we've got several of them in the crowd here that flew in for this day. So they gave these guys permission to do the same thing. And the fact that they actually know them, it's not just pictures on the wall, means the world. And now these guys know what to do for the future. And fortunately, we've got all these guys back, and we'll go to work on the next one starting tomorrow.
Well, congratulations, Coach, and your team on a national championship.
Thanks.
Burko.
Amelia, they've done it again. Alan Bratton, twice a national championship winning coach at Oklahoma State. He won it as a player 30 years ago. The motto in 1995, believe in destiny. We're going to believe in it. We'll be back right after this.